riders in a small little track.
Yeah.
All is fair in love and war, right? And racing's war, so. Oh! Getting a little western, hitting sideways. Coming in hot. He is definitely on the gas on that XG 750. These guys are all having some fun out here.
The epicenter of motorcycles, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, will tonight get invaded by every bike imaginable and by riders of all skill levels who have all traveled to UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flat Out Friday. I am Brandon Graham, coming to you with our entire broadcast team for tonight. Of course, joined in the booth with X Games gold medalist Lance Corey, the voice of sideline reporting at the X Games, Diana Dahlgren, and joining the broadcast team, making his broadcast debut, by the way, pro flat track racer Johnny Lewis. Lance, I'll begin with you. You've been here since year one. You've seen this thing grow and evolve. For the uninitiated, what is Flat Track Friday all about?
I just love it because it really brings first-timers out, first-timers for racing, and some of the best pros. So you see all walks of life out there racing.
Yeah, the range of spectrum of riders. No one's got a better seat than you do. You'll be at the pits all night. Talk to me about the personalities we find out here at Flat Out Friday.
I mean, you're going to have guys that don't talk, you're going to have guys that talk a little bit, you're going to have guys that crack jokes, and I'm going to be bringing all their personalities and the stories down in the tunnel.
Yeah, absolutely. Along with Johnny, talk to us about what you're doing tonight. You will be bike breakdown, giving us the science behind everything out here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting because there's a large difference of riders out here. Just like Lance said, it's from scooter racers to the hooligan guys on race prep motorcycles that are pretty heavy, and then you got the professionals, like you said. So the motorcycles are extremely fast. It's a tight track. It's gonna be really good racing.
Every bike you can think of, every racer you can think of, complete mayhem coming to you now. Let's start racing. The fans invading UW Milwaukee Panther Arena, getting ready to watch absolute mayhem take place on this 1/16th of a racetrack, Lance Corey. Over 15 different classes of racing we'll see out here tonight, beginning with right there, the JV semis will be kicking things off.
At the open amateurs, we have the women's main, scooter main, PW50, that's what the bike I started on right there.
Oh, little 4-year-old Lance?
That's right. The Booney main, that's my favorite right there. Expert main.
And if you've never watched this before, you're going, what do all these things mean? Don't worry about it. We got you covered. Obviously, we've got Lance here in the booth. We've got Diana down on the course. And of course, we have Johnny Lewis breaking everything down for us. Johnny, how's it going down there, man?
It's pretty loud.
So Johnny will be reporting to us live from the course all night long, giving us the behind-the-scenes access on everything. Talk to us about this opening class, Johnny.
Man, there's a lot of guys out here. They had to split the classes. There was 100 riders down to 3 classes, and this is the JV class. The guys are relatively new to flat track, and we just kind of got into it, built a bike, and now they're out here racing. It's pretty wild to see them out here opening the show.
Yeah, well said, man. We'll be coming to you all night. So Lance, we've kicked things off, bud.
Racing's looking good already. These guys are they're already warmed up. They've been out there racing all day to get these lap times.
Now, talk to us about this course and the setting for those who are just tuning in for the first time. What makes this course so unique here at the arena?
So what's incredible is, to my understanding, it's a hockey arena.
Right.
And before this was set up, there would have been ice out there, obviously.
There is not ice out there right now.
But there was ice at some point.
Oh, I see, but
so
not now.
When they take all that away, the concrete is shiny and it is slick. It's like being in a big store where it's kind of like slippery, actually.
Okay.
So they end up spraying Coke syrup down, and they let it kind of dry, and it gets really tacky, almost like being at one of those gross bars or something where your feet
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Your feet kind of stick to the floor, They do that so the tires actually have some traction.
1 lap to go, you see, and there's the checkered flag. And again, we talk about the dimensions of this track. This stuff is at a torrid pace. If you've never watched Flat Out Friday, if you've never seen flat track racing on this scale, don't blink.
No, it's incredible. It's almost like racing little mini bikes inside of your garage. All the racers lined up, waiting to go out there for themselves.
And we see Bob Reese finishing number 1, qualifying in our semi 1 of 3. As Johnny said, there were so many people in this event that they had to divide it up now into 3 different heats of this JV semi.
I don't think that the underside of this arena has ever seen this many motorcycles or people inside of it.
Yeah, I've never seen. We were here obviously for this last year. We were here for Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary just a few months ago. I've never seen this many bikes in one place. It's amazing. There's a great shot at our track here at the starting line. And one thing you'll notice as we get through these classes, right, Lance, is there's so much differentiation in bike. You'll see categories where you'll see dirt bikes, 450 cc's going against 750 cc's, and it really boils down to traction.
Yeah, you're gonna see all of these guys out here right now. They're all on the Sportster platform. They're street legal bikes. That's kind of what makes it a hooligan class. And they're heavy, and they don't have much room to get these things to turn, so it can get squirrely.
So this is hooligan JV semi 2 of 3.
Oh, like that. 2 bikes down already. Pardon my getting on top of you right there, but
no, that's what it's all about, and that's par for the course here on Flat Out Friday.
I got excited to call that out right after I was saying you're going to see some squirrely riding. You can see them with the yellow flag out. That means some riders are down on the track, so kind of take it easy. And you can see all the riders kind of bunching up because of that yellow flag. It forces them to slow down a little bit, to be careful so they don't hit somebody on the track. So it gets the race a little tighter. Right there, you see a pass.
Yeah. And we'll see Rydell in the lead right now. Is anyone going to catch him? 2 laps to go.
No yellow flag out anymore, but the white flag is out. 1 lap to go.
And now he's lapping people.
Lappers can be dangerous, though.
And 38 Rydell with the claim, the fist pump. He went double fist pump. I saw he went left to right, back to the left.
He's stoked.
He's moving on.
There's 100 guys here in this class. He's stoked to qualify. I would be too.
The JV main will obviously go on a little bit later as we take another look at that crash.
There it is. See that quick? Because he was so close to the other rider. Quick flag change.
And again, if you're just joining us, we're in the midst of our hooligan JV semi, 2 of 3. Jeff Rydell taking the win there, qualifying onto the main.
Absolutely the jewel in the crown of motorcycle racing, hooligan racing, indoor racing, this type of racing in the United States, hands down. There's a little bit of everything here, and the focus really is on fun. Look how huge.
And there we see the kits. We should, again, different types of bikes, different types of riders. I think the highlight for almost all of us here is beyond the dressing up of the bikes is the dressing up of the riders themselves.
Yep, that's for sure. A night like this, they kind of throw on a costume. You see a man right out there in a tuxedo.
That's your type of tux. In fact, I feel like that's what you wore to your wedding. It's kind of a full onesie tuxedo.
A full sublimated tuxedo.
It's like it's a glorious, it's not a tuxedo t-shirt, it's a tuxedo onesie.
Yep. But again, that's the cool thing about this class. I mean, these are their bike. Look at the bike closest to us. Oh, and a guy pulled in front of him. But look at the guy closest to us.
Yeah.
He is actually, you could see his speedo gauges on his bike. This is not a race bike. This is a bike that he takes to work and back, and he wanted to race. It's so cold outside. He's like, you know what? I'll race the race just so I can ride my motorcycle inside today.
Oh, and it was 69 getting the whole shot. Nice. Oh! But he's cut on the inside by 00, the Tux man.
Can Brandon Gonzalez get back up there to 00? I see the yellow flag out, and Brandon gets him. Brandon Gonzalez, the number 69, came all the way from Long Beach, California. In fact,
was he on your flight?
He wasn't on my flight. I think he had to drive here with his motorcycle. Can you bring a motorcycle up on a plane with you, Brando?
That's a great question.
All of these riders had to get their motorcycles here somehow, and I think most of them drove through the snow, through the rain, through the crazy weather we're getting right now.
Just from walking from my hotel to your hotel, your very bougie hotel, I got frostbite on both of my ears. It was 8 degrees out.
Yeah.
Can't imagine being on a bike out in this weather.
So 8 degrees out today. They're inside, they're warm, they're racing, everyone's having fun. And Brandon is staying in front right now. Now let's not forget, everyone here in the stands and all these riders, a lot of them are in town because tomorrow we're having the Mama Tried show.
Right.
A rad motorcycle show in the heart of downtown Milwaukee.
And that's really the genesis of this entire weekend, and a byproduct of that is this race because the community as a whole had been coming out here.
Yeah, I mean, it just happened naturally. I think the show was already going on. People were in town. People wanted to ride. People wanted to race. It was so cold outside. They said, hey, let's rent one of these arenas and let's all start racing motorcycles in there. They were letting their kids race. Everyone was racing. And you're going to see that tonight. You're going to see 4-year-olds out there on this track racing.
Brandon Gonzalez, as you said, left no doubt about it. Even with the stoppage, returning for the win. He'll be moving on. So there you see Brandon Gonzalez qualifying.
So I hear the crowd getting loud out there.
Oh my goodness.
We have dirt bikes coming out now.
If you guys want me to chime in, I got some stuff.
Yeah, Johnny, you're down there, man. What now that we're a few heats in, what's your takeaway so far?
Man, you know, like it's cold outside, but this pit area down here, it's hot. You know, these guys are coming out, they're racing for the first time. Some of these guys on these hooligan bikes, you know, they're 500-pound motorcycles, if not more. And, you know, you could tell they were a little nervous, and a couple of guys caught each other's back tires and high-sided. But, you know, as the day goes on, you'll see these guys get better and better out there.
And Johnny,
just a lot of nerves.
And Johnny, while we have you as we get ready for the Open Amateurs, how many of these guys that we're seeing in certain classes will we be seeing in other categories throughout the night?
There's a good amount of guys that, you know, chose to ride the Open Am, you know, but they jump on a different bike, jump on a hooligan bike. You know, 59 out there right now, you know, he's riding, I think, 3 classes, you know, hooligan, Open Am, and then the Bunyan bikes, the little chain-driven motorcycles, you know, ripping around when we see them at the end of the afternoon. So he's got 3 classes.
Yeah, that's a fan favorite for sure. I guess if you come all the way out and you've got the artillery and you've got all the different bikes, why wouldn't you do it, Lance?
He's a local boy. He just loves it.
Oh, we had a gate jump right there. Oh, what?
Wow. What a feeling.
Look at back.
How far back is he going?
2 back.
I thought he was going to push him back into the tunnel.
Yeah, you don't want to jump the gate.
Speaking of jumping the gate, 59 getting that early lead.
Notice these bikes, they're a little bit quicker, a little bit lighter. These guys are kind of getting on the gas a little bit more. You can see the bike sliding out. something about a heavier bike, you kind of want to ride it a little bit less aggressive and use that weight to kind of carry you through.
So Kilkenny leading the way right now.
I mean, you can see these guys, they're probably getting kind of lost on where are they in position.
Right.
The guy in first is all of a sudden passing you, and you're going, was the guy behind me that fast, or am I getting lapped already?
Right, it's such a small course. Depending on your start, you have no idea where you are when you're riding this thing. And that's what we say, and you even talk about the concept of Flat Out Friday. Obviously, somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to come in second, somebody's going to come in last place, but that's not the premise of that. This isn't what Flat Out Friday is about. No,
Flat Out Friday is definitely about getting out there with your friends, riding, and just kind of having fun, banging bars. I love coming into a corner with your friend, and sometimes you can hear your friend yelling, "Yoo!" It's all fun and games. I mean, you know, there might be a little bit of showboating at the end of the night, like, I took that race. But realistically, everyone is stoked for everyone, especially when everyone gets off the track healthy. Yeah, this is the spirit of a bike with a motor. I don't care what your background is, where you come from. When you come here, you're a part of the community. And harder to find anyone or any place that's having more fun than Flat Out Friday here at UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. Man, we're moving. Open Am, semi 1 of 3. There you see it. Notice how much time difference. So first place actually got 15 seconds ahead of second place. Wow. That's probably a lap. You could see the rubber getting on the track. We should send it down and see how sticky the track is right now. We should just have you walk. You want to just go walk a lap? No, but we have guys down there that can. No, I think you should. I think you should do it. I want the Boonie bike. If you guys haven't seen the Boonie bike, you've seen the Boonie bike. I've seen the Boonie bike. If the people watching haven't seen the Boonie bike, that's my favorite class. It's a little bike with a lawnmower engine in it. No suspension. Barely. I don't think they have any brakes. And they're ripping around this track. That's the one that looks the most fun to me. Semi 2 here in the Open Ams. There you see our lineup. Some familiar names in this one, Lance. Whoa. There's a fine line when you get out there of being too aggressive. Right. And maybe putting it down in the first corner. What kind of rider would you be, Brando? Yeah, I think I'd go aggro right out of the gate. Would you? Yeah, it's the Ricky Bobby mentality. If you aren't first, you're last, right? Okay. So you kind of go for it. But as we were talking about before, it's so hard, probably midway through that first lap, to really, if you're not in the lead, knowing where you are. Yeah, for sure. And you just kind of want to keep picking off the person in front of you, picking off the person in front of you. Notice how far they're able to lean these bikes over on the concrete. They're really leaning them over far. I mean, the foot pegs are touching the ground. That was some racing right there. Yep. And I tell you what, if they don't stay in those black grooves on the track that they've been starting to make, it's a lot slipperier. So they're trying to stay in those locations so they know their tires are going to hook up and have some traction. Unofficial results. B. Brewski, there you see. Might be Brusky, but I like Brewski. Yeah? Yeah. Hope he's cool with that. But some impressive racing from him right there in our Semi 2. Take a look. It was that 38L bike who I believe got the whole shot early. And then Brewski really making his presence known. So our results are in. You see Brewski and Blasky So
1 and 2 qualifying forward.
Yep. I was just going to say, you see the Q on the side of their name. That's what is kind of letting us all know that they're going to make it to the main event. We're still just in the semis right now. These are just every rider that signed up. Towards the end of the night at this show, you're going to have all of the fast guys battling. That is really where it gets intense.
Yeah, it's really neat. As we said before, you come through the tunnels here of the arena and you see all the bikes lined up. You see riders from all different backgrounds. Obviously, there are some very familiar names here who we'll be getting to a little later in the show. And then you literally see 10-year-old kids completely kitted up alongside like a Jeremy Twitch Stenberg, you know?
Yep,
it's amazing. And where else are you going to find that?
No, exactly. You do see Twitch out there, who's well known in the motorcycle community, taking photos with all the kids that are geared up as well. I was one of those kids at one point, and I see little PW50s out there, the little teeny dirt bikes, and it brings back such good memories. And one thing about motorcycle racing, it's such a family sport. You really need that family support. It really creates, like you said, that community. Everyone's there to help out. Everyone's willing to lend a hand.
And they're off. 25. And the Stars and Stripes getting the early lead.
Notice, Brando, that bike did have front brakes on it. There's no more front brakes.
Not to these eyes.
It's all gas, no stopping.
Yeah, and Lance talked about the importance, especially on these dirt bikes, of the suspension setup.
So you can tell compared to like a normal dirt bike you buy off a showroom floor, they've actually lowered the front end of it a lot, drastically. So that way the weight gets a little bit more in the front of the bike and they can control it in corners a little bit better. Also, they've taken the front fender off. It's not really needed. There's no dirt flinging up. They're able to see where their front tires go a little bit better. But we may get a better answer down there.
So the unofficial results are in. And it's C-Funk, who looks to be qualifying to the main.
Johnny, can you hear us? Johnny, can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
All right, so you're down there. You've been seeing the hooligan JV class with the Sportsters. Now you're seeing dirt bikes get out there. From a ground level, what bike do you want to ride? What do you see a big difference in what's going on?
Man, I'm partial to these hooligan bikes. You know, they're big machines, but you know, around this little track, they look like a handful, and I'm always up for a challenge. So, you know, these guys getting out here on these big heavy motorcycles in front of a big crowd like this is, you know, it's pretty amazing. You know, like I'm pretty stoked to see these guys doing it. Now you're going to get out here and see these pros get out here and do it. You know, there's a big difference. The lean angle's a lot different than the hooligan bikes, but you know, I think these hooligan bikes look like a lot of fun around here.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. Well, as we get ready for our next class, we'll head down to Diana Dahlgren. You never know who you'll run into here at Flat Out Friday. Diana, who you with?
Yeah, that's right. Hanging out here with Taylor Kinney. You're starring on NBC Chicago Fire, and you are a motorcycle enthusiast. You've been here with Harley-Davidson quite a few times to Milwaukee. How have your experiences been so far?
I came up, I think, August of 2018. Sorry.
Whoa, guys! Hey, there we go.
For the 115, the Harley anniversary, came up, had some cheese curds, rode around, saw the streets, saw the lake. It's beautiful, and then coming to the track, I couldn't be more happy.
So you got to get out on this course earlier today with guys like Jeremy Stenberg, Buddy Settle, Johnny Louchback right behind us. How was that riding on the course?
It was fun to rip around the track. We got here early. I think we were the first ones out. The concrete was a little cold, tires were a little cold. We slipped around a little bit. Twitch came out, started lapping us. Buddy came out, started lapping us. We picked up the pace and had a good old time. But yeah, after seeing what the guys are doing tonight, I was telling a couple of the boys, I think I would have ended up in the hay.
Well, big round of applause. You didn't end up in the hay this morning. Thank you so much, Taylor, for coming to Milwaukee with Harley-Davidson. It's an honor to have you at an event like this. Guys, we're going to send it back up to you.
God bless. Thank you.
Love it. Hollywood taking over Milwaukee out here today at Flat Out Friday. Fans watching right now, are you interested in riding flat track at this summer's X Games in Minneapolis? The 2019 Harley Hooligan Qualifier goes to LA this year, taking place at the Born Free Motorcycle Show on June 20th. Keep an eye on Harley-Davidson social media and how to register. It all goes down on Harley-Davidson social media, and you can find out more info at xgames.com. So we move on to our next class, the Expert Semis. So here we see our first heat of the Pro class. Jumping up to the line.
Racing's about to heat up.
Yeah, no doubt. Here we go, and they're off.
Notice that he's got a piece of carpet on his boot, Brando. That carpet on his left boot right there, so his foot doesn't actually stick to the ground. The ground is so sticky, like I said, his boot would actually get caught and rip his foot back if that wasn't on there.
So it's Bowman leading the way right now, and he is absolutely lighting this track on fire, Lance.
He's going to catch up real quick and get into those lappers. Now, these are experts. They're not pros. So these guys probably have a job. They're probably going back to work on Monday or Tuesday. So they're really just out here having fun. I mean, everybody's out here having fun.
And there's a great shot as you see our leader. So many of these riders, the setup, especially on their foot, the boot that's hitting the ground, as you can see, taped up to the max. It looks like he's actually got a little piece of carpet on there.
There you go, he's stoked. Right from the get-go, he does not look back. Takes off, and he's gone.
That's what we call a no-doubter, Lance. Bam.
See him lift his foot so he can kind of bring it over those cones that are saying, hey, this is the inside, don't go any further.
Well, Johnny, now that we've got the pros out there, as we move on to semi 1 of 2, there it's officially in the books. Bowman, Gunther, Lang, Weimer all qualifying. It feels like the racing got a little elevated real quick, Johnny.
Yeah, it did. You know, if you watch, Bronson Bowman out there, they actually have their left foot peg off because they're laying the bike down so low that it would rub the foot peg. Some guys even opt to take shifters off the hooligan bikes because the cases are so wide. So, these pros now, they're just laying the bikes down so low, getting the direction change. It's pretty amazing to see them out there doing this on a track that's 100 feet from inside to inside.
I love that camera angle of that straightaway as our next heat moves up.
Look at them coming out. They're just so fired up. That lap that they just hit, they were behind the gate. They're like bulls waiting to go. I'm telling you, everywhere it seems like it's raining or cold. These guys are stoked to be inside, warm, riding their bikes with their friends.
And there's a look at our semi 2 of 2 roster here in the expert class. 8 riders. Half of this field will be moving on to the final. Who will those 4 be? Let's get ready to find out.
Looks like the inside rider always keeps getting the jump and staying in the lead.
Yeah, so it's 229 going wide to inside. Can he fend off the field early in this race?
So to my knowledge, they basically all had to time qualify during practice to get what qualifier they're in and probably their gate pick. So usually the fastest rider gets first gate pick. And so that's why we're seeing the guy on the inside. He's choosing that line, and he was also the first one to choose it, and he was the fastest one in his class. That's kind of why we're seeing him be able to take off and lead the race and win the race in the last 2 classes.
So it's Mishler leading the way in the 69 polka dot kit. Can Monaco catch him on the final lap? No, and it's Mishler taking it. And it looks like Weiss might have actually passed Monaco there on that final lap.
Brando, what's the most CC bike you've ridden?
Oh, let me look back in my lifetime. You know what? I think it's got to be a 900.
A 900.
A 9.
So to give you an idea, these are 450s.
Right.
And the Sportsters you saw out there were basically 1200 cc's. So you can imagine how big that bike is.
That I can. I can imagine it. I can imagine it. Hey, let's head back to Diana, who I believe is with some racing royalty.
That's right, racing royalty. If you guys watch the flat track series across America, you've seen Sammy Halbert, you see Jared Vanderkoy, and they are here tonight. Give a huge round of applause for these amazing, talented riders. Now, Sammy, this track is a lot smaller than what you guys are used to. Walk us through what you guys are going to do here tonight.
Yeah, I love racing these little indoor short tracks. I grew up racing indoor short tracks, and you know, they call me Slammin' Sammy for a reason. So we'll see if I have to pull out the slam tonight. You know, I'm not afraid to if I have to, but you know, I know it's, you know, after watching the main here last year, I know you got to play your cards right. There's a lot of lap traffic in that 35 lap main event, so we'll see what happens. Just happy to be out here racing, putting on a show for the fans, and representing for Harley-Davidson.
So Jared, come to that. Has your teammate ever gotten dirty with you in the corner? Has he knocked you down? Has he slammed you a time or two?
Yeah, we've had our run-ins in the past, but not as of recent. But yeah, it's going to be a good event, so I hope you guys all enjoy it. It's going to be a good time. So thanks Harley-Davidson for having us out, and everyone for coming out here, and hope you enjoy.
You guys give a huge round of applause. Jared Vanderkoy, Sammy Halbert, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
How about Sammy just saying, hey, I'm ready. If I got to throw up elbows side to side, I'll do it.
Yep.
They call me slamming for a reason.
I'd be a little worried to be in his semi.
All right, here we go.
Sammy, of course, needs no introduction on the flat track, American Flat Track Series, of course, X Games as well.
But I want to say something. I stand corrected. The experts have pros in the class.
Correct.
So I'm not sure if every single expert is a pro, or
can an expert be an expert without being a pro? And can a pro be an expert without being a pro?
A pro, of course, is an expert, but an expert isn't always a pro.
Is this a riddle? There's no answer to this circular question. But the racing continues as we take a look at our semi 1 of 4 here in the hooligan.
Now this is open. This is open hooligan. So these guys have faster lap times. They're a little bit more seasoned. They've been doing it a little longer. We're going to see a little bit more carnage here. These guys want to win.
And also, just look at the size of this field.
Again, though, it's not something that they want to win. We saw some gate jumps. It's not something that that they want to win just to be winners. They want to keep racing. So this is just a semi.
Right. Yeah.
They want to win.
Very good point.
Just so that they can go out there.
They can just
again.
stay on their bike.
Yeah. So if they don't win or they don't get the top position in this, they're not making it to the next round.
Right.
And most of them, they drove so far to get here. They just want to make it to the next round and get more laps out there. So you see a bunch of bikes getting back there in the third starting position. Those are all the guys that jumped the gate. Kind of teach you a lesson right there.
Take you to the back of the classroom is what they do. And they're off. And it's early. It's Clements leading the way, trying to hold off Young and Carlson.
I know Clements himself traveled all the way from California to get here, so he wants to stay out there. He wants to keep racing.
And is there a better outfit early on than Carlson's tassels? I'm getting a very Lloyd Christmas briefcase money look.
Oh, he's in the lead.
Yes!
He grasped the lead with the tassels.
You would think that would be a hindrance, aerodynamically speaking.
I think that's something like, I'm the man. Watch out for me. You gotta be pretty
tassels
good.
Is bold.
You gotta be pretty good.
100%.
But here they are getting into lap traffic, and this could cause some problems.
Final lap.
And there it is. Checker flag is out. Clements with the win. He's going to the final.
Some great racing here in our first Hooligan Semi.
Oh, wait a second. It says Clements to the win, but I think it's reading wrong.
I think so too. Again, those are unofficial because it's the 45X that
I stand corrected.
That was leading the way. How about that?
There was the pass.
You want to talk about breaking bread?
Number 2 coming up, the 142 of Danny Howlett, the 67.
Again, some guys will wear the tassels to be noticed. Hey, look at me.
Yep.
And other guys are just that bold.
I think he had a little
I'm
mixture
a winner.
of Benny Carlson.
It was Benny Carlson that wins it.
And notice he's the only one that's going to qualify. Jason Clements, all the way from California, is turning it around. Less than bragging rights, he doesn't get to go out there and race again. Got to bring your A game in these semis, Brando.
Yeah, well said. The show must go on. Here our next class jumping out.
Notice the difference in gears. There's a couple guys in leathers and there's a couple guys in more of motocross gear.
Yeah.
I myself would want to be in leathers. If I hit the ground, I want to be in something that's going to slide well.
Okay.
Something that's going to protect my skin. So it's interesting to see, who chooses what.
Hypothetically speaking, you're wearing your leathers. What's Lance Corey in this class? What are you wearing? What do you look like?
I look like number 100 right there. Dialed.
Ooh.
Even number 81 back there, he's got leathers on.
So you go Johnny Cash.
I go Johnny Cash. I would be in a Harley-Davidson jacket and chaps.
Well, we'll have to get you out next year, Lance. Out of the booth and onto the track.
Uh-oh. Oh! That was some jumping. So he wore leathers, he was there with the protection, but he was a little too anxious.
Well, and you think about it like this, Lance, right? Most of these guys have been getting practice laps earlier in the day, and there was some racing, some qualifying, even to get to this point before we even went on air. But a lot of times now it's getting to sit and wait, right? You've been waiting for this moment for your name to be called. Adrenaline is pumping.
Yep.
Can you really fault these guys for false starts right out of the gate when they've just been waiting?
No, you can't. There they go. That looks like a clean start.
142 with the whole shot.
Holbus in the whole shot, and he was again on the inside line. You're seeing that inside line pay off well.
Will he cling to that top spot, though?
It's looking promising so far.
just tuning in, we're still in semi mode. We've got so many finals, so many mains still to come. We're just getting started here on Flat Out Friday.
And like I said, Brando, my favorite bikes haven't even gotten out there yet.
Noted, Lance.
The Booney bike. The bike that's in your shed that your parents had, that you pull out and you clean off and you pour some gas in it and it starts right up.
I can get 70 miles to the gallon on this hog type of bike.
You love that movie, don't you?
Yeah. It's the only movie I've ever seen. Dumb and Dumber. So Holbus on final lap. Can he hold on?
Oh. And he held it.
Is that our guy Louis Louders that came in second there?
Yep. We've seen Louis Louders at the X Games hill climb.
Along with his brother.
Yeah.
The Harley hill climb.
Again, these are guys. Louis Louders is a guy. He runs a Harley-Davidson dealership.
Yeah, has a dealership.
So he was probably at work yesterday.
I believe he's a Wisconsin guy, if I'm not mistaken.
But we've seen him travel for the love of amateur racing. You know, like you said, we've seen him in Aspen, Colorado, hill climbing.
Well, who's turning down a trip to Aspen, Lance?
Again, Lloyd and Harry is not going to turn down a trip to Aspen.
You brought it up!
Oh, man.
I didn't reference it this time. Hey, the Rusty Butcher.
That's not Rusty himself, I don't believe. It's a teammate.
That's a teammate of the Rusty Butcher.
Yeah.
But the next race you see open hooligan semis.
Here's some of the hooligan hotshots. I see Suicide Machine Co., like you said, a Rusty Butcher rider. So these are some of the guys that kind of really made hooligan fun again.
Make hooligan fun again.
I've
seen you wear that
racing
hat.
Fun again. Rusty Butcher gloves right there. Twisting the grip. Pair of Thrash and Supply gloves right there.
Whoa!
Twisting the grip.
Thrash and Supply Co.
That's right, baby. Like you said, a lot of these guys' palms are probably sweaty. They've been waiting around for this race. They're fired up.
Palms are sweaty. Mom's spaghetti.
Don't do it. I knew it. There they go. Clean start.
963.
Mikey Virus, a Rusty Butcher, got the lead. He was on the inside line again. What a clean-looking bike.
I was just going to say that.
These guys build these bikes specific just for this event. I watched Mikey and the whole Rusty Butcher team assembling these bikes. Oh, a pileup. A pileup. I hope we got that so we can see it in a replay. But you see the yellow flag out. They're kind of having to take it easy. You see the gas on the track.
Yeah, we got to take another look at that. Speaking of setting a bike up, you got the opportunity to build a Harley-Davidson this week.
Yeah, I've been in Milwaukee for 3 days now. We have a competition called the Brewtown Throwdown.
Correct.
Where basically two teams built bikes. You guys might have seen this in the show a little earlier on, but we were able to build 2019 Street Bobs. We had 2 days to do it. My team, the Quick and Easy team, we made a bike that was kind of replicated after a 1940s flat track race. So something a little bit more old style. The other team, Super Bob, I want to say?
Yes.
Super Bob, they made a bike that was a little bit more Supermoto-ish, a little bit taller. To me, it looked a little Mad Maxy. I'm digging my bike. I hope you guys vote for my bike, Quick and Easy.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
both are beautiful. Check it out on the Harley social and then also Lance Corey's social.
So we might be able to see the crash. There it is. Two riders must have collided. Suicide Machine Co.
Yeah, it's great, actually, all things considered, that there wasn't more carnage there.
Yeah.
Only the 2 bikes went down.
You see them getting the gas off the track.
There you see Mikey qualifying out of that entire group. Only Mikey moving on.
But again, Mikey Virus came all the way from Los Angeles, California. So a guy like him, he's stoked.
Amazing crowd on site here at Panther Arena to watch what has really become an annual tradition.
Now, here you have the Rusty Butcher.
Yes.
I've seen Mark Rusty Butcher win this race before, all the way through, all the way to the end of the night. He took it home with a W. Then I've seen him come back the following year and I think crash out pretty early on. And again, he wasn't mad that he didn't win. He was mad that he wasn't in the final to race more. So what's going to happen tonight?
Yeah, he flip-flops, right?
Yeah.
Either wins or crashes out.
Yeah, it's all or nothing.
Then I guess it's an odd year, 19. I feel like he's going to go the distance. He is absolutely a fan favorite, though. There's no doubt about that.
He's a fan favorite, but right out there in the crowd, I see Jeremy Twitch Stenberg, FMX icon, someone that I grew up racing riding FMX with. So who's going to take it home? A lot of these guys all practice together. They're from California. Let's see how they do.
Getting the lead early.
Can he hold it together? Mark's looking real smooth. He's looking confident. He's got his eyes on the prize, but you see a couple riders on his tail. They want that position. That is the position that's taking you to the final. Are they going to go easy on him? Are they going to throw a tire in? Are they going to take him down?
But we got a battle here midway through this race.
3 laps. Oh!
No!
Mark the Butcher goes down, and it puts Buddy Suttle into the lead.
Buddy Suttle taking over the top line, but no, Bush taking the lead from him.
Wide. They're coming into Mark now, who's a lapper who was just in the lead.
Final lap time. Will Bush hold on?
Looks like Bush has got it. And Bush gets it.
Oh, and what a heartbreaker as Suttle comes in second for Rusty Butcher.
What a transition. You go from Rusty Butcher laying it down, Buddy Suttle then in the lead, and then you get the number 44 of Bush taking over the win. There was 3 different leaders in that race. That was some of the best racing we've seen all night.
Oh my goodness. And you said it right before the race began, partner. Butcher wins it outright, crashes early last year. What's he got this year? In the lead, we think he's got this thing comfortably, and crashes out.
It's such a, I feel so bad. And there you go. What do we got? I don't know if those results on the screen.
I don't know that that's official.
I'm not sure. I have to disagree. I had my eyes on that pretty well.
I feel like there's somebody we can talk to here.
Please put your hands together because there is going to be a wedding taking place.
Well, before we move on to our next race, here's a word from our Diana Dahlgren.
Hey everyone, Diana Dahlgren here. Enter for your chance to win a VIP trip to the 2019 X Games in Minneapolis. And you could be down on the racetrack with me during the Harley Hooligan race.
Check out the kids down there. On bicycles, pumped up. They got their helmets on. They're ready to go. They've got more energy than the older guys, huh? This is what I like to see.
Yeah, there you see the young fans. Flat Out Friday brings out everybody, including some influencers who came out and were able to take some laps around this course. Let's take a look at that.
The track feels really good. We got a little practice in there. It was fun.
I grew up racing motocross, so it was cool to do this. It's something different and something I definitely want to do in the future more.
It was fun just to go out and get a couple loops in, watching these guys follow lines and get a feel for the track.
It's my first time actually even touching concrete. I've seen so many videos of everyone barely scraping their primary and eating it, so I was trying to be cautious out there as much as I could. It's pretty tacky, but it will spin a little too, so I think it's exactly what you want.
It was awesome riding with these 2 big trees. But I honestly think we got them.
Yeah, I got to keep it on 2 wheels and yeah, not crash.
I got 100 cheese curds on Buddy to take the whole thing.
Some heavy hitters.
Yeah, there you have it.
That are part of it. And there's your bike.
Yep, there's the bike that I just got done building over 3 days.
She is a beaut, man. Well done.
Oh, I'm so stoked on her. I really wish I could take her home. Notice how the front and back tire, they're the same size. I love that look.
Yeah, everything about it, the paint job, it just, it's an excellent motorcycle, Lance. You should be really proud of yourself.
Hey, thank you very much, Brando. And there is the other bike the other team got to build.
Yeah, that was Diana Dahlgren was part of that team. And as you said, a little bit more of a Mad Max kind of racer look. I really like it. Hey, we're still in the middle of all these semis. Let's send it back down to Johnny. Man, that last race had a little bit of everything. Johnny, are you there?
Hey, I can hear you guys now. Sorry, we had a little technical thing.
No, I was just saying that racing kind of had a little bit of everything. Some big names, obviously. Rusty Butcher, we thought was going to take it, going down midway through that race.
Yeah, you know, he just got in there and the bike started chattering a little bit and the front end went away from it. You know, he started getting that lead and started riding a little tight. And when that happens, you know, the bike just kind of handles differently and he got that front end push and he lost it. So, you know, that's been kind of a thing that's been going on a lot lately is, you know, just guys, you know, getting offline that little bit and somebody snicking on, you know, right underneath of them and then bumping by. That's how, you know, Carlson got the win that last, you know, the one before. He just, the guy ran wide a little bit and just snuck up the inside. So, you know, that's what it's going to be all night long. It's just guys kind of, you know, jumping in and, you know, when that opportunity comes available, they go for it, and that's going to be the race in the night.
Yeah, and Johnny, Lance had said it really seems like the theme is whoever's got that inside start has seemed to get the whole shot. Are you seeing that too down there?
Yeah, you know, that's why they did the qualifying for the guys, you know, the bigger classes today, to provide that opportunity to kind of you set the stone right out of the, you know, practice staging, you know, get the guys out there, get a good lap time, get that pole, you know. And that's kind of the key to the race, you know, just trying to get that pole position, keep doing it, you know, throughout the evening for that main event.
Thanks, Johnny.
Packed house out there, tons of energy.
Love it. Hey, fans out there, make this your year to ride. Learn from the experts and get 50% off the Harley-Davidson Riding Academy new rider course with the code RIDE50. It's a limited quantity available. The offer ends March 3rd. That's 3-3. Visit h-d.com/learn-to-ride for more details. Make this the year, Lance. Make this the year you learn to ride. Oh, I'm loving this. We got a different type of bike hitting the course out here now, Lance.
That's, now that I have a kid and you have a kid, I just taught my daughter how to ride a bicycle.
Is she not out here? My daughter is 16 months old and she's out there. She's in the bear costume.
I want to bring my daughter out with one of those kick bikes. My daughter doesn't know how to ride a pedal bike, but I know she would kick a lot more butt.
Your daughter's 2 years old?
2 years old.
And she's already riding a bike without training wheels. That's amazing. Speaking of parents and people with kids who ride bikes, Diana Dahlgren, I know you got a little one yourself. When's he going to get out here and ride?
2 years old. He's actually in this teddy bear costume that you see lined up. You know, he's the most massive child on this line. I don't know. I feel like Hunter's going to, you know, take the teddy home for the win.
So all the little cats out there, and it's the bear taking the early lead right out of the gate.
I feel like there's an adult in that.
Oh, how about going the outside to take the lead?
Notice how he's keeping the pedal up. That's basically giving him more ground clearance as he turns left.
The 3-plate staying wide, and now he's lapping.
Oh, could you imagine being out there right now?
Unreal.
Packed house, the energy, everyone cheering you on. Yes, look at that. I want to start clapping in the booth.
That kid has got racing in his future right there. All those kids, what a blast it's got to be, as you said, to come out here. Oh! In in front of this crowd. Are you kidding me?
That is awesome.
I love it. The checkered flag's out. You think you're going to get these kids off the track? I don't think so.
I'm not sure it's possible.
Oh my gosh, some of these kids out here are so small. Speaking of kids and bicycles, Lance, I know you just got a new bicycle.
I did just get a BMX bike. I grew up riding BMX bikes my whole life, which I'm sure these kids are going to do. I'm sure most of these people racing have done. Most people in the stands. And it just was something that, it was like a calling of like, you need to kind of go back to what you did as a kid and find that real organic fun.
And did you find what you were looking for?
I found exactly what I was looking for.
According to your Instagram all last week, it seemed like you found it pretty much every day at the park.
Yeah, I went to the skate park every day and had a blast. Look at that little kid cruising his little pedal go-kart.
You guys hear me now? Yes. All right, well, those kids wrapping it up. Let's head down to Diana, who's with our competitors. Diana.
Hey, you guys. So I'm down here with these stars, tomorrow's stars. Alrighty, so you just ran the track here at Flat Out Friday. How was that track?
It was really fun.
Was it really fun? How was the Coke syrup hooking up on these tires?
Yeah, it was.
Sounds great. And then we have the teddy bear. You know, I was telling everyone this was my child earlier. Here's the teddy bear. Was it hot in the costume?
Yeah.
How was the course?
Good.
What is your goal in the future? Are you going to win some championships in the flat track?
Yeah.
That's right. All right, who else do we got here? Hi, sweetie. What's your name?
Brody.
Brody! And how was the course out there?
Good.
Do you want everyone to give a big round of applause right now?
Sure.
Where are you guys at? There we go. All of downtown Milwaukee. Guys, these kids are the future of flat tracking. Give a huge round of applause. Great job, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Diana. I love asking the kid in the bear costume, what's your goal in life? And you just saw like his entire life span before his eyes. Like, what do I want to do with it? Where do I want to go? Travel the world. There's a look at our main still to come tonight. If you've been with us since minute one, thank you. But we just getting started.
Some of the best classes are coming. Who do we have lining up next?
So here comes our new class, and I'm not totally sure yet. I'm gonna wait for the graphics to come on screen so we can all find out together.
My paper says Mad Dog Maine. That's right, Mad Dog
the
Maine.
Graphic. Mad Dog Maine.
So I'm not sure the rules of Mad Dog Maine, but I'm seeing a lot of kind of four-stroke mini bikes out there right now. All different sizes. It kind of looks like bikes that would be in the range of 80 to 125 cc bikes.
So we've got 12 riders out there, as you see.
You see guys, or you see people in sweatshirts. You see people in motocross gear. You kind of see, again, he might have just came right off the street and he's racing right now.
There you see Sean Sheely was the top-ranked qualifier. What do we got, Lance?
Someone must have jumped the line or something's going on. A little line jumping.
Like a little tire kick from the dad shoes. You see that?
And they're off.
Oh, Sheely getting squirrely.
Whoa.
Can't take advantage of the positioning. And it's...
Whoa, the track looks like it's getting a little slippery out there. You see the spotlight right there on number 75.
Jacob McClutchin. I don't think that kid needs a spotlight, guys.
Now again, this looks like a bike that's a little too small for that rider right there. And but again, sometimes riding the smaller bikes is more fun.
And it feels like, again, traction, the name of the game on a course like this. Having that bike control. Oh, we see a pass.
Bike control is key out there. Smooth and steady wins the race. You saw, like, just like Johnny said, Mark the Butcher, he was getting a little hard on his bike. He was riding a little too fast. Because he lost his smoothness, he ended up letting it go.
So it's Ryan Stephen leading the way, and it doesn't look like anyone's going to catch him, Lance. And now he's starting to lap.
Some great racing out there. You're seeing bikes that are pretty new, bikes that are from, you know, the modern era, and I even see some bikes that are probably 10, 20 years old out there. It's interesting to see how the technology on these bikes hasn't changed much. Mostly visuals, mostly just the cosmetics, the plastics.
So final lap, and it's Steven taking the win, at least unofficially, but to these eyes, you can pump that fist, Steven. Ryan Stephen taking the top spot, followed by McCutcheon. McClutcheon, excuse me. It was McClutcheon leading early in this race. And let's see if this is where the pass took place.
So one thing to keep in mind, Brando, lines in racing are a key to how fast your lap is. So basically, what is the quickest way around this track with staying the smoothest at the exact same time? So you can almost look at it as, if I walk this track on my feet, what's going to be the easiest way around it? Well, it would be on the inside, right? So on the corners, you want to be on the inside. But you couldn't stay on the inside and be smooth if you were staying on the inside on the straightaways. So they're riding wide to stay smooth so that they can ride the inside on the main part of the corner, which is going to get them the shortest line while staying the fastest, while staying the smoothest.
Thank God you had an answer. That felt like an SAT question. The making of a riddle.
I mean, it's just a big deal. And I'm just thinking, if somebody has never raced before, and they've only maybe driven a car on a public road, or maybe haven't even driven a car before.
The strategy seems counterintuitive.
Yeah. So you're always wanting it to ride the shortest line, but also at the same time, what is the smoothest way to do it?
Right. So here's the JV Hooligan main. Some familiar names on this roster you'll see in just a little bit, headlined by guys like Bob Reese and Brandon Gonzalez, who looked so good early on this course this evening. Got 3 different bike manufacturers out here, but it's certainly Harley-Davidson dominant in this class.
So just to give you an idea, I see the number 7 out there, Juan Arceo, right there on a black Buell. And he has a full-time job back in California. He made his way all the way out here to race this, so he's stoked to be out there in the Hooligan JV.
But that's the beauty of Flat Out Friday. It's just filled with weekend warriors.
Yep, exactly.
Matt Schmidt, who had that first pole positioning, taking the whole shot, and he may not look back because he's already
catching up to Tuxedo.
Yep.
Lapper's pushing wide right there. Schmidt staying in the lead. Looks to me like he's going to run off with it.
Still 8 laps to go. But Schmidt clearly knowing his way around this course.
He's kind of already catching up to a couple other lappers.
And you see that for those who haven't watched before already, the etiquette for some of these guys that are getting lapped. They're merely getting out of the way.
If you're getting lapped and you know you're getting lapped, the nice thing to do is kind of let that guy by. So let me ask you something, Brando. If you were out there, what type of gear would you be in? The tuxedo?
Yeah, I think some version of that tuxedo. I live my life business casual. You know that. Maybe a blazer over it, perhaps. Like maybe a nice leather blazer.
Okay,
because
like
I do agree with safety and protection, just like you would be in full leathers.
White flag's out real quick. Schmidt staying in the lead.
Schmitty. I don't know that he likes to be called that, but it just sort of rolls off the tongue. And then the 721 plate, Matt Schmidt had the lead from lap number 1, and no one could take it from his kung fu grip. As he takes the top spot in the Hooligan JV main. A lot to like about this racing, as you said right out of the gate, right before this thing began, about the strategy and how these guys handle this course. Matt Schmidt did just that. So it's Matt Schmidt taking the top spot. There's a look at our results from the Hooligan JV main. Let's send it down to Diana, who I believe is with Matt Schmidt.
A huge round of applause for Matt Schmidt, who's taking the win here in Hooligan JV class. Matt making it look so easy out there. It looks like you belong with the Hooligans. How was the course?
The track was awesome. It's the first time I've ridden concrete, and I signed up late, so I got stuck in JV, but it was a good first outing. I got to thank SNS Cycles, my coworkers, my friends. They gave me a good seed to ride this evening, so thank you, everybody.
Congratulations, Matt. Guys, give him a big round of applause, and guys, we're going to send it back to you at the booth.
Yeah, Matt Schmidt looked so good out on that course, and again, you're just seeing the level pushed as we move on throughout these mains.
But like you heard him say, it's his first time riding on concrete or racing on concrete. He was saying thanks to his co-workers for helping him get out there. So you have a guy who again, does not do this by trade.
Right.
He's an enthusiast, he's a gearhead, he's a motorcycle rider.
Which blows my mind when you say that, when you look at how he raced out here tonight to win that thing. Looked so comfortable, and oh, by the way, he's never raced on concrete before? Come on. But so many of these guys have a similar story, Lance. We move on to our next race of the night. It's our brakeless main.
One thing about these guys, that similar story, is they all have no brakes. Hence the name.
Whatever they're paying you, Lance, double it. That's the sort of analysis that people are coming here for. So there's a look at our roster for tonight's brakeless main. Randy Brolick will be in that first position on the inside.
You see him lining up right there.
Oh, let's go to the gram. Oh, excuse me, I believe this is Twitter. Paul James at James Gang Racing. Go time. Only one round of practice on to the heat races at Flat Out Friday. The girls who ride out ya at Flat Out Friday. Women's hooligan races are so rad. Could not agree with y'all more. The girls who ride. Hashtag Flat Out Friday. Join the conversation. Randy Bralick, the 51 plate. Shot out of a cannon, Lance.
He did. Look at him just dragging that foot on the ground. Oh, he brought it up right there. Dragging his foot with the carpet. Brings it up on the straights. Puts his foot down in the corners. He puts his foot down in the corners kind of to brace himself so he can feel where the ground is. So he doesn't lean it over too much. Because again, if he leans it over too much, he'll start dragging peg, which could then send him off his bike.
Excuse me, there's 251 plates. I incorrectly said Bralick. It's actually Barry, Randy Barry.
Oh, rider down.
And the Stripes are able to get the bike off quickly there. That was the 15, Kendall Lutchman, that went down.
One thing that's so cool about this race is they really keep the styling so vintage and so pure to flat track with the striped shirts for the track helpers, the all white gear for the I'm not sure what you would call them, the track kind of flaggers, and I guess they're the flaggers. Oh, it looks like he's hurt maybe.
Yeah, so we have eyes obviously down there on the course. Diana, what you see? What happened there?
Yeah, so basically it just went down in the corner, but what my angle shows is that his leg got trapped under his bike, and it just took a couple. Right now, with the red flag, since they got so many, and they're going to do stagger start.
We losing Diana there due to some tech difficulties. We'll try to clean things up, but that's a tough go.
So I don't know if you were able to catch it earlier, but the front wheel on his bike, look at the front wheel. Tacoed. We call that tacoed because it's folded like a taco.
Oh, that's why you call it taco.
I'm done trying to help
I
you.
gotta tell you, the stuff that I am learning from you, Lance, is just blowing my mind.
Doesn't look like he's doing too well. I mean, he's back up on his feet, but
yeah, it's good to see him popping up. But how? I mean, my goodness! I hope that Panther Arena gives this man a hand, because you see what happened, and as Diana said, basically that wheel going over the leg. You see what happened to the wheel.
I'm not even sure if that bike rolls. I think they're gonna have to lift the front wheel up to get off the bike. But you see the rest of the crew lining back up to finish this race. And
well,
again,
let's. I believe Diana's. We're good. Technical difficulties out of the way. I want you to finish that thought from what you were seeing, Diana.
Yeah, so they're staggering the riders. This is typical with a red flag. They're relining them up. But yeah, from what it looks like with the rider who went down, he's standing up now. Good sign. Looks like he just really might have banged up his leg. But looks like they're walking him off the course now, as we can see. But yeah, we're lining up the riders. We're going to get this thing back going. A couple riders did pull off the track, so we're down to 4. Guys, let's go racing.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Diana. And there you see them trying to get that bike off of the course. As you said, it's not just gonna roll off. And the show goes on, and again, 51 Barry. He's on a mission, Lance.
He is on a mission. You saw he was the fastest before that crash happened, and he's just putting it back down and proving he's the man to win this race.
4 laps to go. And it's Barry with a sizable lead. And as you said, Lance, going outside to in. You don't think it's the fastest way to go, but that is the route to success out here on this course tonight. And Barry doing just that.
There it is, white flag out. Barry's got 1 lap to go. He's looking at the checkered, and there he is. taking that main home, looking back at his friends. Big smile on his face. You can see it right through his helmet.
So even with the crash and a little carnage, it was Barry who had to, even after the restart, get that lead back and win it outright, and that he did. So brakeless main officially in the books. One name I do want to point out, Chuck Dickinson. I don't know if you've seen Chuck around. He's always here. He was, of course, at the 115. Chuck Dickinson, 78 years old.
Wow.
Let's head down to Diana, who's with our winner from the main.
A huge round of applause for Mr. Randy Berry, the number 51 that constantly put down a huge lead on the course. How was that track out there tonight?
It was good. It's always a good race with the guys with the brakeless bike. A lot of crashing tonight, but I tried to couple and just keep it clean.
That's right, you did keep it clean. You maneuvered through the course beautifully with lappers and people who fell down. You got to give these young bucks some advice.
Yeah, it's just really good to do it like that. So.
All right, we'll give it up. Barry taking the win. Lance Brando, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Diana. His experience showing in spades out here tonight. And how about that, Lance? I mean, you have the start that you're looking for. You're leading the race. You know you're in your game. There's no one in front of you except people that you're lapping, and then all of a sudden that flag comes out. Oh, we got to stop this thing.
That's definitely a bummer. Because your heart rate just instantly is like, oh, what? So it's definitely a bummer. I mean, but normally you're confident enough to go, you know what, I can do it again. I know I can lead laps. I know I can be in the lead. I'm going to do it again. And obviously, we saw that he did that.
So from Randy Berry and the brakeless gain to the new class, the youth main.
So one thing about all these youth bikes lining up, I can hear them, and they're all two-strokes, meaning they're all different style engines than the last ones. These bikes require their gas to be mixed with oil. They're all about 85cc bikes.
You can hear it, you can smell it.
Oh yeah.
And a couple of Tidwells in first and second. It's Trevor Tidwell in the lead. His brother Tyler behind him.
These riders have to stay out there for 10 laps. I see a couple 60cc bikes out there. And you see the Tidwells, 1 and 2. Do you think that any bit of their training together is
Clearly it's paying off.
Are they gonna do the slingshot move towards the end?
Oh yeah, a little shake and bake. Oh, little tire tapping.
Young with the pass.
And Young passing Tyler Tidwell.
Oh, Young's in the lead with 5 laps to go. He is putting the power down. You hear the crowd going wild. The crowd is going off. You see Young.
This is the back and forth we've been waiting for.
Can he hold it for 3 more laps?
Wow. Vince Young passing Trevor Tidwell, and just 2 laps to go. Can he hold on? Final lap time. Wow. And did Tidwell pass him? A photo finish, Lance.
We gotta see that again.
Did Tidwell regain the lead right before the checker?
I need to see a replay.
That may be a youth main, Lance, but that was easily the best race of the night so far.
It's only going to get better.
Wow.
Here we are. You see some passing. He's letting a rider back out on the track. Let's see if we can see that checkered flag pass.
Vince Young, not the Heisman Trophy winner from UT. It's YUNG.
Here it is. Here it is. Look, look, look.
And did he get him?
I don't know. That's got to be a photo finish. And our results are unofficial.
Right. I still think Young might have had it, Lance.
I think so too, but
Tidwell took the inside. We'll see. We're about to get our official results dropping.
That was incredible.
But regardless, what a battle between those two.
What a race. I hope we see a lot more racing just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Trevor Tidwell was leading that whole way, and then Vince Young, with about 3 laps to go, taking the top spot, only to potentially have been bested by Tidwell, not on the final lap. I'm talking right as the checkered flag was being waved. Take another look. Young. Tidwell on the inside just makes it so interesting.
Look at how leaned over Tidwell was. Carrying his momentum right out of that corner. Leaning the bike.
That's some savvy racing right there.
Incredible. What's up, everyone out there?
That's a lot of people getting on the Jumbotron for the first time in their lives.
Oh, kiss cam. Kiss cam.
All of these machines are built by local high school students. That's right.
So they're going to the tape right now, really taking their time.
Who's your money on?
I still think it's Vince Young. Some more social coming through. Bikes going fast. Zoom, zoom. Hashtag Flat Out Friday. I love it. Not Simone. Even got a little, she's got the cherry emoji in her handle. Watching Flat Out Friday on Blockhead Moto Channel by the fire. What better way to spend a Friday night? Dave Hoffman, thanks for spending the night with us. Malika, who says there's nothing to do in Milwaukee? Not Lance or I. That's for damn sure.
We're checking out Flat Out Friday.
Checking out Mama Tried's Flat Out Friday. Lance, we still don't have our official results yet. They're
looking at photos.
At the photographs. They're looking back at the footy. You asked me, I asked you. I thought it was VY. Do you think Tidwell did enough there at the end?
I'm going VY, but they're definitely splitting hairs right now.
Could we have a co-champion?
No. Somebody passed it first. They are splitting hairs. They're looking at the photo finish right now. Someone has to have a photo.
And it's Vince Young. Wow. So in the end, Vince Young bests Trevor Tidwell to take it in the youth main.
By a split of a second.
Wow, what a performance, though. You know, we talk about it, right? The weekend warriors, so many of these guys who have regular day jobs that just travel from all over the country, all over the world to participate in this, sign up and register for their chance at glory, their chance to have fun. I love the youth main because these kids are still gunning for the professional ranks. You know?
Definitely.
You were there as a youth racer.
I was there, and it's so cool for these youth riders to be at this race where there are actually some pros keeping an eye on them. They can go ask them for pointers. They can go ask their opinion. So it's a really great race for the youth and for the new people to ask the pros, hey, what are you doing? Or, hey, we're on the exact same track. Well, let's watch him do it.
Yeah. So now it's time for the main build. To break down what these bikes are all about, let's head back down to Johnny. Johnny, break down this class for us.
Hey, you know, this is a pretty interesting class. This is actually a high school project where they take CB 175s and they've been working on them, machining them, kind of turning their own vibe on these motorcycles. And it's pretty cool because it's right here in Milwaukee that they're doing this. So it's, it should be interesting.
Oh, super cool. Thank you.
How rad is that? See, I want to be on one of those little bikes like that. Some you're proud of, some you're having fun on, but some you're not as worried to kind of drop if you accidentally go down.
Miss Cho leading the way on the 35. Oh, and it looks like Malinowski might have taken the lead.
Eight laps to go. Seven laps. The laps are just ticking away. These guys are riding pretty dang fast.
Yeah, Ian Malinowski in first place. And now Ian's making the passes. The story behind these bikes, the origin, and that's what the great thing about each of these classes, Lance, is each of these classes tells such an amazing story about not only the riders but the bikes and where they came from.
Look at the forks on that bike. Bop, bop, bop. They're kind of bouncing up and down. That's too soft of a fork, and that's going to make the bike actually have a hard time getting traction in the corner. That's going to slow him down.
Malinowski,
I saw a bike backwards,
is covering so much real estate. Hitting outside, hitting inside, making passes both ways. And takes the victory here in the build main.
That class looks like fun. And to top it off, they had a lot of fun building those bikes.
You built a bike earlier this week. I would have loved to see you jump on that and figured out which class you could have gotten in with that thing.
I think that class would have... I know we have a couple cool classes coming up. It would have either had to have been hooligan, inappropriate class.
Yeah. I could absolutely see you.
We could have gone out there in that one. I would say I would have signed up for the inappropriate class.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit of an inappropriate bike. It's a little too big.
So what would your costume been?
Oh boy. Well, the bike was styled as a more vintage bike, so I would have played the part and gone vintage. I would have been in some old school leathers.
Nice.
With kind of a helmet that Evo Knievel would have worn. Like a helmet that looks like you should be in a space shuttle.
Well, partner, it's not too late. We move on to our next class. Get ready, it's the women's main. The ladies of Flat Out Friday hitting the course. We've got 12 riders out here. And this is one we're really excited to watch. All of these women absolutely ripping on this course. Was watching them in practice earlier today.
I see a lot of different CC bikes out there. CC's the cubic inch of the motorcycle, which the more cubic inch, the more power. But I'm I'm seeing bikes that could be upwards of 450 cc's and then bikes that look to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 125 cc's.
Yeah, let's bring in Johnny. Are you seeing that as well? Lance just talking about the variation in cc's in this category.
Oh man, there's a big one. I don't know if you noticed, the last bike that pulled up at the start line was a Honda Rebel. Still has the taillight on it. But then you got racer girls that race full time, you know, like all season long. So there's a lot of really strong talent out here, and also a lot of beginners just getting out here for the first time.
So we're getting ready to set it off for the women's main.
We're having some troubles at the start right now. I'm seeing some gate jumps. I'm seeing some bike stalls. So I think it's their nerves kind of getting to them.
And as Johnny said, you see it with Hooligan Racing. You see it at Flat Out Friday every year. Just so many different types of bikes, but you know you're at Flat Out Friday when you see a tail light out on the race course.
Yep. Uh-oh. Getting bumped to the back. It was looking like she was having some clutch issues. She kept jumping the gate, but I don't think it was intentional. I think it was either nerves or it was something with the bike. Oh, there we are. Yeah, I'm seeing dirt bikes, but then I see a cruiser bike.
Right, and that looks to be Zaria Martins.
Uh-oh. Oh, she has to be on the third line for those mistakes. They're off. Again, that inside line kind of being the promising one.
It looks to be
the number 11.
Anna Lang. Hannah Lang leading the way. Annie Wyman now taking the lead away on the 158 plate. And you see the control around the turns and then just gassing on the straightaways.
This is what I love about Flat Out Friday. I see dirt bikes and I see street bikes out there. Nobody's scared. Everyone's having fun. Nobody's trying to hurt anyone. Good times on a Friday night.
Right. So it's Wyman still leading the way, with Megan Funk right behind her. 4 laps to go. If you were in this, Lance, would you find the spotlight to be distracting? I don't mean that figuratively. I mean literally the spotlight being on the leader.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think that you're so focused, you're so looking forward at what's going to happen next. Your mind is so in the race. The light, you're probably...
Oh,
no! She was trying to get that last lap pass.
Hannah Lang touching tires with our leader, Wyman, holding on to the top spot.
So I think that the spotlight goes unnoticed. I really do. I think your mind's so focused on the race, that's not something you're thinking about.
And how about back to what we just saw? Obviously, Wyman did herself some racing there in the women's main, but Lang, who had the lead lap 1, really going for it there at the end, Lance.
Hey, just like you said, you ain't first, you're last.
Look at that.
I say that jokingly because we never want to see anybody crash. Luckily, it looks as if the crash, she's okay. I believe she probably got up after that.
It didn't even seem to deter Wyman at all.
I think she was straight up enough, far enough out of the corner that it wasn't going to affect her.
So Annie Wyman taking it in the women's main. Let's head down to Diana, who's with Annie.
Annie Wyman, congratulations. You took the lead, smooth race, and someone almost knocked you down right as you're crossing the finish line for the win. How was tonight for you?
Thank you so much. It was a really close race, but I had a lot of fun. It's my first one ever at Flat Out Friday. I wanted to thank my dad for taking me here and all my sponsors for helping me out.
First time at Flat Out Friday must be a good luck charm. Congratulations. Wyman taking the win.
Yeah, what a performance from Wyman in the women's main. Didn't have the lead early, but was able to climb the ladder, took the top spot by lap number 2, and then there was no looking back. Even got a tire tap there on the final lap. And now it's that category Lance has been waiting for, the scooter main.
Let me out there. I wonder if they would have let, I guess a scooter, you probably have to have that section in the bike where your feet can kind of sit on that platform. The scooter main. Do you have a scooter at home?
I don't. I have once upon a time. I was actually able to trade my van for it straight up.
So a scooter is a light two-wheeled open motor vehicle on which the driver sits over an enclosed engine with legs together and feet resting on the footboard.
Look how old that Vespa is.
Just a nice vintage Vespa.
This is what Flat Out Friday is all about. 8 riders on scooters. And Lance, the reality is almost all of these guys have been out here for other races as well. Just bringing their scooter from home.
This is the fun class. Oh, look, they were tied up. This is the fun class. This is the class that I want to be in. Let me out there.
Absolutely amazing. Lepzinski leading the way.
These are the grocery getters. These are the coffee getters.
It's an electric factory in the arena right now. The fans are losing their minds.
And they have to race 10 laps on these. They are treated the same way the pros are. That's what's so cool. They don't take this joke class like a joke. They take it serious. They have to do the exact same amount of laps as the women main just did, as all the other mains are doing.
So Lepzinski leading the way. Pickett behind him. Schwenker in third. Oh, no! Was that our guy in the Vespa?
It was the guy. Oh, no! Carnage! And they're only 4 laps in.
That was our leader. So now Lausch. Thomas Lausch is in first place.
5 laps to go. They're halfway through. Are we going to see any more carnage? Are they going to be able to stay up? This is any man's race.
Forget about tire traction. Balance is the name of the game in this class, Lance.
Well, really what happens is those floorboards on the Vespa hit the ground, which lifts the wheel off the ground and sends them
I mean, look how narrow some of these front tires are. My goodness.
Little bicycle wheels.
Oh!
Right back up.
A brutal tap.
I'm telling you, these guys are laughing. They're all laughing in their helmets right now.
And now it's Schwenker. Logan Schwenker leading the way. Will he get past? And he does. Andy Pickett. We've seen 4 lead changes. And the checkered flag comes in. And Andy Pickett on the final lap.
The crowd is going wild.
Taking the W.
There he goes. Wow. I've got a grin ear to ear right now.
That was amazing. Yeah, I was smiling the whole way.
Oh! Tucked front end right there. Let's see what we have coming up.
Oh! And just with so little weight between these guys' legs, it's like finding that balance.
He's gonna feel that on Monday.
He's gonna feel that tomorrow. A little bunny hopping across the finish line. The results officially coming in. And it was Andy Pickett, our fourth and final lead change, who was able to take the top spot away from Logan Schwenker. What a race, a crowd pleaser. Let's send it down to Diana, who's with Andy.
I'm standing with Dante Scavo, who actually got last place. And you know what? I think he had the entire arena laughing and cheering for you, really. You went down in the corner, you head planted. Thank God for your helmet. Walk us through tonight's race for you.
You know, I just wanted to represent all my buddies at C&L Machining and everyone in the Shitbox Scooter Club, man. You know, our shit really runs.
All right, well, give it up for Dante Scavo. He had all y'all entertained for tonight. Thank you so much, Dante. Guys, back up to you.
Thanks, Diana. Make this your year to ride. Learn from the experts and get 50% off the Harley-Davidson Riding Academy. There's a new rider course. Use the code right now. We're giving you the code. RIDE50. Limited quantity available. The offer ends 3/3. That's March 3rd. That's just 3 weeks away. Less than 3 weeks. h-d.com/learn to ride for more info. Get 50% off, Lance. Head over to h-d.com/learn to ride. So here we go, the PW50 main.
This is where I started out, on a little PW50. Mine was pink, like you saw that first one.
Was it really? A young Lance. How old of a boy were you?
I was 4 years old.
Get out of here.
And you see that pink model was from like the late 80s, early 90s. And these bikes have not changed for, I would say, 30 plus years.
That is just a testament to these bikes.
So if you're thinking about getting your kid out there to ride, PW50 is a great bike, and they haven't changed in years, so you can get an old one, get a cheap one, get your kid out there on 2 wheels, and it's really something awesome for the family to do.
Yeah, no doubt. There's a look at our field of 11 riders. We don't have ages on these kids, but they've obviously gotten the bug.
I'm gonna guess between 4 and 8.
Wow.
I'm gonna say 4 and 6, actually.
That's just amazing that a 4-year-old Lance Corey was out here. And they're off! And it's the 38, Braxton Jacobson.
And look at their setups. It's just like the adults. They have the carpet on the boot. They have little mini boots, mini helmets, mini chest protectors. They are kitted.
And Braxton says, "Excuse me, field, I came here to do a little racing." Just getting his lap on. And Lance, he is riding at another speed out here tonight.
He is riding at another speed. He's looking a little big on the bike, so I'm gonna guess he's a little bit older. But once again, he fits that bike. He's out there racing, and he's having a blast.
Perfect form. And the checkered flags are out. And was there any doubt? Braxton Jacobson with a wave to the crowd. What a pro here in the PW50s.
How epic.
And he didn't have the inside positioning to start that race. He had to come from middle of the line there to get that hole shot.
He had his eyes on the prize. That's a fact. It's so inspiring to watch this. My daughter's 2, and it definitely gets me excited to get her on a little mini motorcycle like that.
You don't have yours from when you were racing at 4, do you? It's got to be in a garage somewhere.
I don't have it, and I regret not having the chance to keep it, but I was 4, so if my parents sold it, they probably sold it to get me a bigger bike. But
you know what? Let's try something right now. If you're watching this and you bought that bike 20 years ago, get in touch with us.
Just comment.
At Lance Corey.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, I got your bike. You don't even have to sell it back.
Oh, you're actually looking for the person.
Yeah,
with
I'm looking for the original bike.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
Well, it's been a great night of racing so far, and with plenty of action still to come. Let's take a moment now to get to know a very special family of riders in the Harley community in a series we like to call Beyond the Track.
My wife, her name is Liz. Our first date was actually a motorcycle ride. From there, we just knew that we both loved two wheels. We have 2 sons. One's name is Charlie, and the younger one is Oliver. Immediately, those guys both loved motorcycles. Whoa, big wheelie. And they would see Dad riding down the road, or Mom on her Harley riding down the road.
It just keeps us energized and excited as a family to get out and just be on 2 wheels together.
It was just in their blood immediately. Eventually, we bought the little Harley-Davidson Power Wheels. Had a blast on those, doing donuts and all that sort of thing. From there, it just took off. Flat Out Friday is a non-stop, action-packed show for kids and adults of all ages. So this year, I'm going to be racing in the amateur 450 class. And then the boys are going to be racing as well.
Now I get to be part of a pit crew, seeing as how my 4-year-old is racing his little PW50 this year for the first time.
As a dad, seeing the kids out there and my wife getting out on her dirt bike, it brings me so much joy. Like, I'm just lucky that, you know, the boys got into it. I found a beautiful wife who loves it too.
Now that is amazing, and that's what makes motorcycle racing and Flat Out Friday a truly family affair. You know, it's fitting, being in Harley-Davidson country, that Diana is joined by our next guest. Diana, who do you got for us?
I'm standing here with some Harley-Davidson royalty. Bill Davidson, the great-grandson of William A. Davidson. It's an absolute honor to be standing here with you, especially here with the Flat Out Friday, the Mama Tried weekend. Thank you so much for coming. How has your week with Brewtown Throwdown been going so far?
It has been outstanding. It's so exciting to be here tonight at Flat Out Friday. All the riders here, all the enthusiasts here, the excitement, you can hear it, you can see it. It's awesome.
That's right. Well, you know what? We started our week off at Brewtown Throwdown. Then we head over to the museum, go to the restaurant, all that good stuff. You are the vice president of the Harley-Davidson Museum. If someone has never been there, what can they expect when they go there?
Well, the Harley-Davidson Museum is like a treasure chest. It's over 115 years of Harley-Davidson. So you can just imagine the motorcycles, the memorabilia. We've got special products like Elvis Presley's Sportster. We've got a double-engine knucklehead called King Kong. Peter Fonda's Easy Rider motorcycle. It's an amazing place to come and visit and experience what Harley-Davidson has created over this 115-year time span. It's outstanding.
It really is outstanding. I hung out at the museum during the 115th anniversary. I was busy nonetheless. I didn't even have to leave the museum because if I wanted lunch or dinner, I could just head over to Motor. There's so much more to do at the museum than see the museum.
Absolutely. There's a great restaurant called Motor. There's a bar called the Can Room. We've got so many events that take place. We do bike nights there. And this summer, starting June 15th, we have a special exhibit that's called the Daredevil exhibit, which is going to be unbelievable. Some of the things that we're bringing in, like Evel Knievel's XR750. We have a motorcycle that's rocket powered with helicopter blades, and it was designed to jump Niagara Falls.
It's so amazing. If you guys haven't been to the museum, I mean, they go above and beyond there, and you guys won't want to miss the Daredevil exhibit. It's going to be coming around June 15th.
June 15th.
And you guys can't miss it. And is there anything else that when people are watching, what do they need to know about the Daredevil in the Harley-Davidson Museum?
Well, you can't miss it. It's going to be spectacular. Some of the things we're gathering up actually from around the world, representing daredevils through the years, whether it's been on horses or bicycles or motorcycles or cars. It's going to be at the Harley-Davidson Museum this summer.
Well, do not miss it. June 15th, Daredevil. Bill Davidson, such an honor to be standing next to you, and thank you so much for all your family's history and lineage.
Thank you.
Brando, Lance, I'm going to send it back up to you guys. I bet you're jealous right now.
We are peanut butter and jealous is what we are. And the Harley-Davidson Museum is worth the trip to Milwaukee alone. Whether you own a Harley-Davidson, whether you rode motorcycles or not, it is an institution. We love going there.
I love the Harley-Davidson Museum. I love the food that they have there. I love the memorabilia that you can buy.
Well, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the all-new electric Livewire. Plug into a new kind of thrill. Discover more at h-d.com/livewire. And by Eagle Rider Rentals and Tours. With more than 150 locations in the United States, rent your dream bike for a road trip across town or across the country. Eagle Rider's the official U.S. provider of rentals and tours for Harley-Davidson Motor Company. Visit eaglerider.com to learn more. Well, the show moves on here at Flat Out Friday as we move on to our next class. It's time for the women's hooligan main race. Let's head back down to Johnny for a little report from the course. Johnny, how you been, man?
You know, just down here watching the action. You know, we got a full class of women hooligan bikes this afternoon. And to me, you know, if you look at these women, there's not many over 5'10". I'm 6 foot, and these things are 500-pound motorcycles. And even me riding them around on the street, I get, you know, intimidated. So these girls are jumping out here, and they're going to put on a show. You know, the race is going to be really good. Throwing these bikes around like, you know, like they're mini bikes and make some good passes. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, we are too. Well said. What a sharp lineup of motorcycles, Lance.
Yeah, I'm looking at the start list right now and looking at the women out there. I see a name that's familiar, Kaylin Thorian. She is a professional skier.
Right.
Who loves to ride Harley-Davidsons.
Clearly.
The bike she's on is not even her bike. She flew here, asked to borrow one of the hooligan racers' bikes, so she's out on there on someone else's bike.
She loves racing so much, she loves motorcycles so much that she found herself out here, sans bike, and just said, I'll figure it out.
Yep, and she's right there, the number 46. You could see her about five women in. Four women in. Keep an eye on her.
Also in this lineup, Hannah Lang, who went down on the final lap in her previous race.
2 down so far. Never a good thing to see on the first lap. They're running a red flag. Usually means pull over. Let's get this cleaned up. Everyone, let's restart this race.
Yeah, that's a tough start.
It's never a good thing to see people go down on the first corner.
And we've been saying it, though. You get your laps in early, and then it's just so much of sit around and wait, and you finally get to that point. And it's such a buzzkill right out of the gate to go down.
Oh,
the
man.
adrenaline. Ooh.
I'm worried. Was that Kaylin? I think that was Kaylin.
Was
yeah,
that the 46
Kaylin who I was talking about. Yeah.
And you also see.
Look at her. Look at how tough she is. She's not scared. She wants to get back out there, but they need to get the bike straightened up.
Right.
She is tough.
Kaylin Thorian, and she's trying to get back out there.
Looks like she's going back out.
Awesome. Love to see that.
What did I tell you? Keep an eye on her.
Again, what a story, traveling out here to Milwaukee without a bike.
She just crashed somebody else's bike.
Just crashed somebody else's bike, who might be racing later tonight. We don't know.
That's one of the Suicide Machine Co. bikes. I'm not sure if they made it in the main or not. But you got to be a pretty nice person to, you know, let somebody go out there and race your bike. Again, they're just doing this for fun. Nothing serious. They literally are like, oh, you want to race my bike? Yeah, go race it.
And then she just kind of comes like, sorry.
I'm sure they're going to go up to her and go, wow, we're so stoked you got back out there. Look at her. Something's up with her shoulder, but she's back out there. Everyone's kind of cheering her on. She's ready to go. Her adrenaline is just pumping. You know she's gonna be sore.
So we'll set it off. Take 2. And really, that underscores the fact that Hannah Lang, much like her previous race, got off to a fantastic start, and she does just that again, grabbing hole shot.
Hannah Lang looks to have qualified first, and now she's in the lead. We'll see if she can keep that fastest lap time in the front of the track.
So she's holding on to the top spot, but she's on the outside. Oh! And she pushes off.
That was Lassen.
That was Lassen, who was right behind her.
Kristen Lassen was pushing hard, but pushed a little too hard.
And now you're starting to see Lang lap. Orloff sitting behind her. But I don't know, it's still early, Lance. Who's going to catch Hannah Lang?
They're a minute in the race. You can already see Lang's got a 5-second lead on Orloff.
Yeah, Orloff sitting in that second position, but she's got so much ground to cover, and Hannah Lang just seems to be getting faster as this final moves on.
Every lap, your confidence kind of boosts and boosts and boosts. You're getting more comfortable. You feel the track more and more. You understand the track more and more. As long as you can keep your excitement level down, you can usually hold on to that win.
Two laps to go. Hannah Lang, can she go the distance and win this thing from start to finish? And she does just that, the unofficial results dropping. And the thing that really stood out to me, Lance, was just how comfortable she's looked on this course, and she's probably ridden more than anybody out here on this lineup as she was part of that women's main just a couple of races ago.
I actually believe I ran into Hannah Lang in the pits, and there was a couple other racers kind of pointing her out, saying, keep an eye on her. She's going to be the one with the win tonight. So I think the whole kind of pit knew it, the whole crew knew it, and she pulled it off.
Well, Hannah looked so good in the women's main, but wasn't able to take the top spot. That changed here in the women's hooligan as she takes it.
Again, got to give that street cred out to Kaylin for pulling back out there on the track after slamming down on that concrete.
Yeah, so our results officially in the books here in women's hooligan. Hannah Lang fending off Leah Orloff and Mallory Lee to take the top spot. And of course, Kaylin Thorian just outside of that top 3 spot, settling for 4th. Let's head down to Diana, who's with Hannah.
Standing next to the winner of not only this race here at Flat Out Friday, but at the 115th anniversary, she also won the Flat Out race. She's built this bike. Not only this, she dominates on the course. Hannah Lang, what makes you so superior to other women on the course?
I guess I do come from a very good dirt track background, and I have a great team at Westman Harley that builds great bikes, and they helped me build this one for this year.
Well, she's taking home another win. Guys, we're going to send it back up to you. Hannah Lang taking the win here tonight.
Yeah, Diana reminding us of just how good she was at the 115th.
Yep.
Late last year.
Confidence is key.
So we turn our attention now to the next class. It's time for the amateur main. So the open amateur main featuring 12 riders. Headlined by some familiar names, including Matt Schmidt.
I see a number 90 of Brady Lang. I'm wondering if that's a relative.
Oh yeah, of Hannah, possibly.
A family of racers.
Our boy Brewski, back in the mix. Ezra Brewski.
I saw Cody Funk earlier racing. See him out there again.
Our lineup set for the open AMs. Chaz Maimon Jr. on the inside. Can he grab the lead early? He does just that.
Hugging the inside so he doesn't get past, staying on the gas. The nerves are up right now, 10 laps to go, and these guys are on the gas. They are wheel to wheel right now.
Lang is on Chaz Maimon's heels. Can he catch him? And you see him, Lance, trying to get that inside, but Maimon not giving him any room.
They are not letting off. They want to pass. It's such a tight track. It's so hard to pass, but we've seen it happen. It might happen. 6 laps to go. Look at how fast this race is going.
And Maimon just continues to be relentless with holding on the inside. Lang's doing everything he can to push through. Now, when you're sitting in that second spot, as Lang is, you know the strategy. I've got to get to the inside. I got to get to the inside, and you're not getting it. At what point do you just figure out, I got to make this pass one way or another?
Did he make the pass? Did he make the pass? Oh, man down, rider down. He's in the lead. He made the pass. Lang made the pass.
You're right. Lang is on top.
Must have happened without
unofficial results, and he does it. Was that the final lap that he did it?
I think those results are a little off. I believe Lang pulled it.
Lang is on the 90 plate.
Yep.
And
so
he sure looks like he did.
Lang wins the women's class. Lang wins the open amateur class.
So what you're saying is when you register for these races, you should write last name Lang.
What I'm saying is the Langs trained together.
The Lang train.
Yep. And they knew exactly what to do. There's the pass right there.
Whoa. We said it. All race long, Lang was just looking for that opening. Do not give him the slightest daylight because he was going to take advantage of it. Flagger, almost down for the count. So it appeared that Brady Lang, when it mattered most on the final lap, was able to make his pass to the inside. Let's send it down to Diana.
Here with Brady Lang, the winner of tonight's Flat Out Friday, but he also won at the 115th anniversary. Now here he won, making a clean pass on Maimon. Walk us through what happened.
Well, he was leading, I was working on him, and he screwed up and I took advantage of it.
Taking advantage of it. And I know for those of you watching on Facebook Live right now, you can't hear the crowd, but you know what? That one got him good. Is there anyone that you would like to thank and also congratulate your sister, both of you guys winning here tonight?
Yeah, I'd definitely like to thank Southeast Sales, West Bend Harley, Spectral Oils, Bell Helmets, Trier Distributing, Moose Racing, Promotion, and that's all I can think of for now.
All right, congratulations. Another Lang on the podium. Brando, Lance, back to you.
Brady Lang is an absolute gamer.
Diana, next time you ask the winner, I want to know like what they had for breakfast and lunch. Were they so nervous that they could barely eat, or did they load up?
Yeah, what was the meal of choice today? Were you a guy? You obviously competed at the highest level at X Games, winning gold. How about nerves? How much did that play for you on race day and contest
Nerves
day?
were huge, and I always tried to eat a super bland meal. I would eat rice, chicken, something that I knew wasn't going to mess my stomach up.
I'm sorry, Lance. We'll have to continue this thought in just a second. I'm not quite sure what's happening here.
Being in Milwaukee and hanging out, having a great time. I brought some of my guys with us. We're having a great time watching the riders in the back, watching the races, doing a great thing. We want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Let you know we got a big show coming up at Turner Hall in September. We got a couple other big shows coming up. We hope to see you guys if you're in town. I want everyone tonight, have a drink, have a good time, get a little rowdy, get a little crazy.
It's become rogue down here on the course. Diana, what's going on down there?
You know what? I have a little bit of wrestling experience, and this to me looks like a showdown.
Oh my goodness.
You're so lucky, Brandon, that you're not down here because I feel like they would break you up into little pieces.
Oh, wow.
They would just chew you up.
Tell me how you really feel. Jeez. Oh, no. They're not going to. Diana, they're not going to throw him on this table, are they? No. Whoa.
Thank you, Milwaukee.
Lance, the man has a family, Lance.
What did they put in their Wheaties this morning, guys? That's what I want to know.
They just threw that man on a table and broke the table.
Was that Vance or Lance?
Hey now, hey
that was
now.
Lance's alter ego, Vance. You know, that's got me thinking, Diana, Lance. Obviously, these wrestler takeover. What would be your wrestling name? Diana, what would, if you're wrestling, what would be your nickname?
You know what? I honestly can't even answer that because I don't know. Why don't you give me a name, Brandon, right now? Give me a name.
Diana. What rolls off the tongue with Diana?
Dirty Diana.
Okay, you said it. If you could say it, I could. That would be your walk-in music.
Yes.
Michael Jackson, Dirty Diana, right?
I would even do the little hip thrust, you know, like little pop that he does.
Woo!
Ow! Lance is quiet. Look, you can't even get a word out. He's just.
I was the one that went.
Oh,
okay, you mean Lancelot?
Lancelot.
I was getting it.
And he would be like a knight theme, like sort of a middle-aged theme, Middle Ages.
Exactly what I was just gonna say. He would come out to the Lancelot music, have a sword. Girls would love him.
Diane, how's it going over there? Diane, is that you?
Vance and Diane, the alter egos have come out.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, it's time for some racing. Who's ready for Booty Man?
Booty, the best race of the night.
Booty Mains. Lance, you love this one. Talk to us about Booty Main.
Booty Main, basically, they got to be on a pull start bike. It's got to have no suspension. I guess they probably get a rear brake on those things. It's kind of something that you would pull out of your shed with your lawnmower motor in it.
It does sound like a lot of lawnmowers.
Oh, JJ Flaherty out in the lead with his white leathers. JJ Flaherty's a local out here.
He is.
He didn't make the main for the hooligan class, which I'm sure he's bummed about, but that's why he brought this bike out, because he wanted more laps and he wanted more racing.
JJ Flaherty, an absolute fan favorite. I was walking the concourse earlier this evening, and kids were beyond stoked to meet him and get his autograph out here tonight. A lot of JJ fans here at Panther Arena.
You see David Kilkenny right behind him. I've seen both of these bikes racing right at the peak for the last 4 or 5 years here.
Can Kilkenny catch him? It looks like he was making the pass, but Flaherty. Oh, I think he did, Lance.
I think this win.
Both Kilkenny.
Notice the lines they're taking. That is what's making who's going to pass.
They're going outside in, passing the guy in jeans.
One of the guys just needs to take the other one out. Just clean, take him out, push him over.
This is the battle we've been waiting for. Kilkenny.
Over the jump, the only time I've seen it used.
Kilkenny versus Flaherty in the booty main. Can Flaherty get the lead back?
Take him out, Flaherty. Take him out. I wish I had an earpiece right now into Flaherty's ear. Take him out. Take him out.
Sweep the leg, JJ. And Kilkenny will just not let up. Final lap time. Can Flaherty regain the lead? I don't think so.
Take him out. Go, go.
And Kilkenny wheeling his way into first place. That was a fun one.
And look at that.
They're both hyped.
Pumping each other up. It's all good fun and games. I mean, this race tonight, all these races is almost like no different than meeting your friend at the park for a Friday evening basketball game. It's more just about getting out there and having fun.
That they did.
Ooh, rubbing is racing.
The Booney main. Be nice if we got a little Gucci main maybe playing in arena during that race.
For the Booney main?
For the Booney main.
Killing me. You're killing me.
How about Flaherty looked unstoppable in that thing? But it was David Kilkenny who grabbed that lead and wouldn't let go. David Kilkenny winning Booney main. Let's head down to Diana, who's with David.
David Kilkenny dominating out here. David, you were working in and out with JJ Flaherty. Walk us through why you're so dominant over him.
I don't know. I think we just ride together a lot, and I don't know. We both like to have fun on these silly little bikes.
Well, why didn't you just punt him off in the corner?
I don't know. I mean, I was just playing with JJ. We just kind of play back and forth, and whoever wins, wins.
Well, congratulations. No stranger here to the podium. David Kilkenny taking the win here for the Booney bike.
Whoever wins, wins. Isn't that the spirit of Flat Out Friday? I mean, that's the slogan right there.
You're winning if you're out there.
Whoever wins, wins. Shrug the shoulders.
Exactly.
Now we're getting into the big dogs, Lance. Expert main. That means we've got to bring in our pro, Johnny. Break down this category for us, these riders, these bikes.
So, you know, these guys are on 450s. They're used to racing on bigger tracks. You know, the spectators are about the same, so the nerves aren't so much. It's just the tight track that's really going to amp these guys up. You know, all day long they've been watching the track, you know, really seeing if the track is changing. Because these guys, unlike those guys, you know, just said on the boonies, hey, whoever wins, wins. It's not these guys. They're wanting to take home this win. Even though they're not the big show here tonight, because the hooligans kind of take over, these guys want to win. They have bragging rights because this is all season for them, and they want to go into the season saying, hey, I won Flat Out Friday. I bumped the guy out of the way. You know, it's going to get aggressive. These guys are going to put on a good show. You know, and it's going to be a quick race. It's going to show some cool racecraft out of these guys on this racetrack.
Yeah, that's a really good point from Johnny. It is a really nice teaser for the season for a lot of these guys. On top of bragging rights, there's something about getting this win here tonight.
And just to add this to your resume as another win,
sure.
it always helps your resume to have one more win on it.
And they're off. It was the 65 who got the lead. And oh my, the 20 plate. Doing a little bouncing and taking over the top spot.
One of Harley-Davidson's themselves. Jared Vanderkoop. You see him. They're already getting into lap traffic. This is going to get gnarly.
This is absolute mayhem here in the expert main.
These bikes are never standing up at a 45 degree to the ground. They are actually at a 90 degree to the ground. They're at a 45 the whole time.
I know you can't see it because there's not a camera. Lance literally pulled out a protractor out of his pocket and started putting the degrees to make sure he said it right.
They are never getting they're staying at a 45 degree. They're never getting even to a 90 degree to the ground.
So Vanderkooi in first place. Oh, a little tap.
Like, get out of my way.
As he's making the
this.
laps. Bronson Bowman behind him. Corey Texter sitting in third. And I don't know if Johnny's mic is open. Johnny, can you hear us down there?
Hear you loud and clear, man.
Yeah, talk to us so far. We're early in this race, man, but the level of racing.
Loud for me. I can't hear you guys.
I really want to hear from Johnny on what's happening right now.
That's how loud it is down there.
Yeah.
They are on the gas. Oh, he's down. He's down.
And Vanderkooi going down, our current leader, no! Which creates an opening for Bowman.
22 laps left, though.
Still plenty of time.
The longest race we've seen tonight, but this may go by the quickest because of how fast they are going.
So it's Bowman still in first place, Corey Texter behind him. And you know who I don't see any side of, at least at the top, is the 69 plate, Sammy Halpert.
Notice how fast these guys are changing positions right now. Jared's already back to third place. He's 4 seconds off the leader. Can he reel him back in?
And Bowman is just full throttle on this track here tonight. And again, the mentality shifts, right? It was the boonies right before this. Guys just having fun, screwing around. Whoever wins, wins.
And
the
now,
entire vibe has changed.
And now I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, literally, you are. So Bowman holding off Texter.
I'm trying to just pay attention to who's staying in the lead right now.
So Texter just over a second off. It's really a two-man race. Final 9 laps to go right now.
Spotlight is staying on Bowman.
But again, credit to Vanderkooi for getting all the way back in. Now he's sitting in third.
8 laps to go. 7 laps to go.
You're right, though. In the blink of an eye, we went 25 down to 6 laps.
Yep.
That 1/16th track will do that to you.
So wait a second. I just had a realization. 1/16th track, right?
Yes, sir.
So if they're riding 25 laps, they're riding right about a mile and a half.
Crazy.
In 4 minutes. Just think about how fast that is. That gives you a perception idea of when you go run a mile on your feet. They're riding about a mile and a half in 4 minutes. 4 minutes and 37 seconds.
I was told there would be no math. And with that, expert main in the books. And it was Bowman who was able to hold off Corey Texter and the rest of this field. And as Johnny said, bragging rights heading into the season. Johnny, can you hear us?
Now let's calm down a little bit.
Yeah,
that was some
talk to
intense
us,
racing there.
Talk to us about what went down.
Sorry, I lost it there. Now I can hear you again.
Yeah, Johnny, just your analysis of that race. As you said, early season bragging rights on the line.
Yeah, you know, it was definitely a bar bagging. You know, Vanderkoy just lost it there, spun out, leading the race, and then, you know, with Texter catching him, I don't know if you guys really caught on to that, but it came down close. I think, you know, if they would have had a little bit more laps, you know, that happened really fast. Our races are a little longer time, not laps, but time. Right. You know, these guys had enough energy to keep going, but it was, you know, just ran out of time. But that was a good race. You know, you have to put up to these guys. Like, you know, they fall, but they're doing 7 seconds around this track. I don't know if you guys realize that, but it was 7 seconds of lap time with these guys. So they're traveling a lot of distance pretty quick in this little arena.
The results are in, and it was Bronson taking the top spot. Jared Vanderkoy was leading early, but unfortunately going down. Still a top 3 finish, but wasn't able to win the thing outright. Let's head down to Diana, who's with our winner.
Your 2-time winner, Bronson Bauman. Congratulations, capitalizing off of Vanderkoy's mistake and brought home the win.
Yeah, definitely. I hate to see my best friend go down like that while leading the race. I would have been pumped with the 1 and 2, but you know, luck has it. Last year I crashed during the main event and picked it back up and got the win. So to get the win again here tonight, 2 years in a row, is awesome.
Well, keeping it rubber side down with a clean line brings you on the win. Congratulations, 2nd win in a row for Flat Out Friday, Bronson Bauman.
Congratulations to Bronson. That was some racing, no doubt about it.
That was epic, but as you heard him say how stoked or how bummed he was for his friend, he said he would have been cool with 1, 2.
Right.
So they kind of all have that mentality out there.
And the lights are down, which can only mean one thing. It's time for some hooligans.
Is it the hooligans already?
This should be the open hooligan main.
Wow. The night is going by so fast.
Crazy.
I'm like, we're already to the hooligan main?
Really the foundation of Flat Out Friday. The spirit of this night of racing is really headlined by this class, Lance.
A group of guys that really got this going from Southern California that made it kind of known in the social media world and showed the fun about it and showed that you don't need to take it too seriously. You can have fun. You can build these bikes in your garage. You can work all week. You can go out with your buddies and you can go race. And it's really caught on nationwide and I'm sure worldwide. And it's just so cool to see this class have 100 people sign up for it today.
Unreal. So a lot of familiar names in this starting list, and they're off.
You see the 100 and Nick Mattia out in the lead right now, holding on. Can he hold it on for the next 11 laps?
Heverly right behind Mattia, but right now, Nick is building a sizable lead. And now Mishler passing Heverly, for right behind Mattia. Can Danny Mishler bring it and try to find an opening?
To go, over halfway through the race.
Nick Mattia just making this thing look effortless.
You can see how calm he looks. You can see how smooth he looks. And that's what really you see in most winners.
Now Benny Carlson has jumped up into second place. Oh no! Heverly passing Carlson for second. I don't know who's going to be able to touch Nick Mattia for that top spot. As he passes the checkered flag. Nick Mattia getting the whole shot and never looking back. Heverly taking second, and Mishler rounding out our top three.
Look at that, rubbing his racing.
Yeah, there's a great look on the inside.
Oh, look at him riding those cones right there.
But Nick Mattia.
Is this the crash? Look at that.
Yeah.
See what it is? The side of the motorcycle touches the ground, which lifts the rear wheel off the ground, losing all traction. Bike goes sliding.
So Nick Mattia taking the win, heavily contested though. It was really a battle for second place between Carlson, Mishler, and eventually Heverly, who ends up taking that spot. But it was Nick Mattia winning the Hooligan Main. Let's head down to Diana, who's with Nick.
Standing with the winner, Nick Mattia, congratulations, taking the whole shot and running a clean, solid race to the finish.
Yeah, thanks to my dad and everybody that helps me so much. I got a rocket start and was able to get out front and just kind of put in some consistent laps.
You were just telling me that you pretty much came here and reclaimed the Mattia name.
I'm not going to say that there's a ton of weight on my shoulders, but I felt like I needed to do something after my brother's crash last year, riding Charlotte's bike with 2 laps to go. And I'm happy to bring home the win, especially for him. He just had knee constructive surgery, and he couldn't be here today, but this win is for him because I know he wants to be here.
Well, a huge win. Congratulations to Nick Mattia and the entire Mattia family. Brando Lance, up to you.
Yeah, thank you, Diana. Nick Mattia leaving no doubt about it. We turn our attention now to one of my favorites, the Vintage. The Vintage Main. I'd love to head down to Johnny if he's there. Johnny, I don't know if it's too loud. Can you hear us down there?
Sorry, I can't hear you guys.
That's okay. We'll come back to you in just a little bit. Actually, as these guys get onto the starting line. How about now, Johnny? Get me a little better. We'll get back to Johnny. I love, you know, as we said before, you go around the tunnel here at the arena and you get to see all the different bikes, and a lot of the guys who are riding in the same classes tend to, birds of a feather, they're all kind of hanging together. It's unmistakable when you go by the Vintage bike area.
It is unmistakable, and I think if I had a vintage bike, I'd be out there racing it too.
I feel like you do have a vintage bike, do you not?
I have a 56 Panhead. Now, I would not be racing that.
You wouldn't take that out?
It's not really, it's a chopper. It's not really a race bike.
Okay.
These are a little bit more vintagey race bikes. You could tell with the vintage bike here, a lot more two-strokes. That was a little thing in the past. I can even smell the two-stroke smell right now. I hope everyone watching it on their screen can smell it.
And they're off. The 37 plate getting the whole shot. That's Moldenhauer. Really neat, Lance, was watching this class out during the Harley-Davidson.
Oh, look at that.
Oh!
Couple bikes down. I'm not sure if they've broken down on them. They're just not able to finish the race because of how old the bikes are.
To finish that thought, the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary races, when we did the beach race, and seeing a lot of these vintage bikes out racing on the sand.
That was incredible.
So Moldenhauer really just kind of weekend cruising right now to the lead.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody. Doesn't look like anybody's pushing too hard. I think those vintage bikes might be dropping some oil on the track, which is making all these riders go down.
So 4 laps to go. Moldenhauer with an easy lead. Girono behind him.
He's kind of right on him. It's not an easy lead.
Yeah, Girono making it interesting now.
He's catching
the 0
up.
plate.
He's right there. It's a little confusing because you see the 22 on his back and the 0 on his bike, so it was a minute to figure out who it was, but he held on.
Yeah, Moldenhauer, you're right. It was just tough because he had built such a lead. You just felt like he was lapping everyone in the field.
Yep.
But he's able to hold on, and he gets the win.
Next up's my favorite class. Name, Goofball.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
Same name that I call you.
Yeah.
Goofball.
That'd be my wrestling name, I think. The Goofball. So congratulations to Moldenhauer, who grabbed that whole shot and then clinged to the lead. He said, "You shall not pass." And no one did.
It's his race to win.
So the final results officially in. Let's take one more look at the standings from the Vintage Main. It was Eric Moldenhauer. Tony Girono, though, made it interesting. You look at those times, a lot closer than I guess I was giving Tony credit for throughout that race. But let's head down to Diana, who's with Eric.
Standing with the winner, Eric Moldenhauer. Now, Eric and I were just talking in it. This is a pretty special moment for him because he came to Flat Out Friday about 6 years ago, the first ever Flat Out Friday, and it motivated you to come out here and race. Talk to us about it.
Well, the first time I watched this, I was sitting right over there, and I thought, I can do that. So here I am.
That's a pretty special story, and you're sending the message to anyone in the stands tonight. Any of you guys watching through the world on Facebook Live right now, you too can come here and you can win a race. Motivated, how was that race for you?
It was the best race I've ever had, so that was amazing.
All right, well, congratulations taking the win in the vintage class, Eric Moldenhauer.
Thank you, Diana. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Screamin' Eagle Performance, engineered for specific torque and horsepower gains. Eliminate the guesswork. Go to screamin'eagle.com. And by Harley-Davidson Riding Academy. Learn to ride from the experts and build your skills on 2 wheels in just a few days. Look for a class near you at h-d.com/learn-to-ride. I love the Harley-Davidson Riding Academy. You could literally find this in any city in the country. Oh my goodness. We've got a chicken on the course. When you see it, you know it's time for the Goofball Main. If that bike in particular looks familiar, it should. I believe that's the cop bike that won this class last year.
And was a pizza bike at 1 year.
Yeah.
That team comes out pretty strong every year with a pretty rad build.
So for the uninitiated, this is our final class of the evening, the Goofball Main. Costumes on the riders, bikes dressed accordingly. I believe I see a Devo member out there.
What would you call that with the red cap on him?
Yeah, that's Devo.
What's Devo?
You don't know Devo?
No. Please explain to me and the viewers that don't know.
Do 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 do. You know the band that sings that song?
Yeah.
Whip It Good?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they wore. That's the costume.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, did you think that was like such a nuanced thing that only I knew?
I have no idea. I see a gorilla out there. I see 2 gorillas.
Okay, well, yeah, I see. Was that it looked like Animal from the Muppets. That guy's like in like a Elton John Vegas show, and then the farmer on the chicken. And how about the back line? I feel like I see an abominable snowman. And they're off. Whoa! Oh! And it's the boa. The Vegas boa.
Yeah, baby.
Zastro.
Look at him popping wheelies every lap. He thinks he's got it. Well, he's got 14 laps to go, so he better keep it safe.
Dude, I'm getting a very 70s Elton John look to Zastro, who's in our lead. An unmistakable flair from Zastro around this course.
Oh, the chicken! The chicken hit the ground.
The farmer could not control his chicken.
What's the three-wheeler doing? Chicken's down. Elvis is running it.
Who's going to catch the boas? As he's making his laps.
Nine laps to go. I'm kind of hoping he makes somewhat of a mistake so somebody catches up to him.
I just hope that he does win it so he can ask Diana during the winner's interview what exactly he's going for on this look.
I want that lawnmower.
Hey, Diana, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I think what I am going to be asking him is just, was Elton his inspiration? I think he's going to say yes. But you know what? I really do have to give a shout out to the guy who's in the red jumpsuit, the number 77, John Dunbar. He actually works for Harley-Davidson, and he has this little boonie bike that he basically contrapted together. It almost looks like it has a sidecar. But guys, that's actually the engine.
Oh,
so
no way!
Both of his hand grips are his throttle, and I just got to give a shout out because he's one of my bosses at Harley-Davidson. So hey, pal, good job out there.
Hey, pander when you can, Diana. No shame in the game. Oh, I did not realize that's actually not a sidecar, but the motor itself. That's amazing.
I think he legit has two motors on it. Two engines on it, I should say. Bike's off to the side. Everyone's being goofballs.
And I saw
2
the
laps
checkered
to go.
hat.
Did the checkered come out?
The checkered came out. I don't know if there's confusion out on the course.
I think they're just trying to get him off the track. Get you goofballs off the track.
So Zastro.
Uh-oh. Joe is freaking at Goodland. He's letting it go. The farmer.
Hey, if you can't burn out in the goofball class, when can you, Lance?
He's trying to shut his bike off. Stop, stop.
And you see the police lights shining through the kit.
What came first, the chicken or the hen?
I think the chicken.
And they're not getting off the track.
No, they're not. Can you blame them? I want to see a wheelie for an entire lap.
It can happen. It can happen.
So that was awesome. Let's relive that first lap.
Look at that save, though.
And let's not forget, he being the farmer and the chicken, the farmer and the Dell, won this race last year as a police officer. But it was Zastro in what I believe to be 70s Elton John garb taking the win. And again, you would wonder if the boas, just like tassels on some of the previous drivers, would inhibit the speed. It didn't do it at all.
Look at how many guys are trying to stop Farmer from doing burnouts.
Well, let's send it down to Diana, who's with our winner.
You know, this whole time you guys have been calling him by his name, but it's actually wrong. It's Elton Ron, and Elton here has taken the win. This was a great class, and I just love that we have Elton in the flesh.
Thank you. I'm just glad Harley brought me back after 16 years.
After after 16 years. You haven't been here for after 16 years?
No, Harley just brought me back after 16 years. I'm really appreciating it.
Well, Elton Ron appreciates Harley-Davidson after 16 years bringing him back. We love Harley-Davidson putting on a great event here. You just put on a whole show for the entire stadium. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Andy Mock from Motoscoot. He completely did this. I just got back in town. The people that put this on, obviously, and Mike Pence, too.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Elton Ron, taking the win here for the Goofballs.
I love it because Ron Zastro got the whole shot, got the lead, and then immediately went wheels up and just wanted to have a good time through that first lap.
I just wanted one note from Elton Ron. Just one hit.
Just one Rocket Man.
Yeah. Rocket Man.
What a night out here at Flat Out Friday. I hope you fans watching at home, have you enjoyed it as much as Lance and I have. Let's do a little social recoup if we can. I'd love to see what people were saying that were watching. Ride with Peaks, 2:22 in the UK, and I'm hooked. This is amazing. Flat Out Friday. Please put my tweet on the Jumbotron. I love racing. That's all I ever wanted. Well, Cold Cucumber. I don't know if it got on the Tron, but you got on the screen on the big show, baby. It's madness here in Milwaukee. Yeah, yes it was. It smells like fast bike bulls in here.
What a night of
It's
racing.
been so much fun, Lance. Hey, let's head down to Johnny for his final thoughts on the night. Johnny, you made your broadcast debut. What'd you think of your first Flat Out Friday on the microphone?
Wow, man, that was. I think that was the way to win tonight. The racing all night long was incredible. I don't even know what to call that. I don't know if it was a race or just it definitely fits the Flat Out Friday motto, And then this isn't even the end of the weekend, All these guys here tonight watching and hanging out, there's still bike shows and all this other stuff going on. So, man, for this event, come here to see the racing, let alone like having pros and the hooligans, having 100 hooligans splitting in between 3 classes. Now this event is just taking that racing to a whole different level in the wintertime when it's 10 degrees outside. This was an amazing event.
Yeah, it didn't feel like 10 degrees inside. Thank you, Johnny. How about Diana Dahlgren, your final thoughts? What's your takeaway from Flat Out Friday 2019?
You know what? Flat Out Friday 2019 was epic. And not only that, the whole week and the weekend continues after this. Lance and I, we got to do this amazing bike build-off. We went head-to-head for Brewtown Throwdown. And you guys, the fans, are going to be able to vote come Sunday. Social channels are going to be lit up with our 2 Harleys that we got to build here in Milwaukee this week. You guys are going to have to vote for Team Super Bob. No Vance, you're not going to win with Team Quicken, Sleazy, Easy, Cheesy. Okay, guys, great weekend, and of course, having a blast with you and Harley-Davidson. So grateful for everything they've put on through the entire week.
Thank you, Diana. Look at that, a shot across the bow to you.
Go quick and easy. Vote for the red bike. Quick and easy. Let's win, baby.
So Lance, Corey, it was an amazing night. So many different classes. What stood out to you here on Flat Out Friday?
I mean, being a dad myself, what stood out to me was honestly seeing the kids on the bicycles and seeing the kids on the PW50s. And again, they got to race and ride on the same track some of the leading class pros are racing on tonight.
What an evening. So much good stuff. Our thanks to our friends at Harley-Davidson. For Diana Dahlgren, Johnny Lewis, Lance Corey, I'm Brandon Graham saying thank you so much for watching Flat Out Friday here from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.